Remember, your anus relaxes and contracts when you laugh. Until we meet again.
That's Skeletor. What a little demon. What's up, everybody? I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. We have so many people here. We got people that we had to we're going to have to play musical StreamYard chairs to get everybody in here. But this is Masters of the Universe and Human Augmentation. And we got Sabrina Wallace in the house. What's up, Sabrina? She's wearing her magic glasses. I don't know. What do you call those?
Magic glasses.
Okay. Welcome. And this is the BOOMA Community Streaما. This is number 43. So welcome, everybody. And we got Lucia. Welcome, Lucia. Did I say your name right? Master of
Does the vowel mean that you got the right answer?
I think I said the name wrong then, huh? Is Lucia here? Well, she's here, and she's the master of memes. And then we got Mac. I've never even met you, brother. What's happening?
What's up, Booma?
Nice to meet you, man.
Finally had the nerve to get on here, so thanks for having me.
Me too, sir.
This is a freaking packed house. This is the first time I think we've had other streamers where we've had people coming on, but it was not necessarily people that I necessarily wanted. It was a whole group of people that were trying to I don't know, get attention. But anyways, we got an awesome room. We'll be playing musical StreamYard chairs as we go. I got to figure out some stuff. But we got Mike back. What's up, Mike?
What's good with you, Booma? I'm good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. I'm chilling, dude.
Yeah, man. We got a little power dynamic shifting a little bit from the ladies. It's been all ladies in Booma lately, and now we have a couple guys. So I appreciate it.
We can't have too much testosterone in the house now.
It's gonna be interesting, man. And then I don't know how long it's been, but Valeda, it's good to see you.
Hey,
Valeda, how have you been?
Your mute button gets stuck. It happened before.
My mute button?
No, Valeda's. She'll click it off and then it'll pop back on. It's on. You're muted right now. Try it one more time. There it goes. Maybe we'll get it figured out. And then we'll see whenever you can pop back on. But Mary's back in the house. What's happening?
Hey, guys.
And she totally bleached her hair on purpose.
I did not. It's the sun. The sun did it.
We were talking about it before we came on, but Mary's back. Mary's been on a stream before, but I think it's been a little bit. But glad to have you back, Mary. You ask awesome questions. I think there's gonna be some great conversation here. And then like I said, we got some new people too. Abbey, what is happening?
woohoo! Woo-hoo!
Hi, Abbey.
It's nice to see you.
Hello.
So Abbey, yeah, you haven't been on a streamer yet, so this is your first time, but you've had your own Twitter channels and stuff like that, correct?
I have all the social medias, but they suck.
Right, you've been kicked off.
I can't ever keep an account. The only place I can post is Facebook. That's the only place.
Isn't that crazy?
It doesn't ban me. It is absolutely insane.
Right, and Facebook was the original banner of it.
I'm on number 66, and TikTok's my favorite one to use because it's the easiest.
66 TikToks?
I'm tech dumb.
Wow.
Clearly not. 66 times. Come on. You're not that dumb.
When they kick you off, do they give you an actual reason?
It's more use. No, not anymore.
Not anymore. They just kick you off. That's what happened to me when I started sharing Sabrina's videos.
It's got to be my IP address. I need a new phone. If I get a new phone, maybe it'll work better. Oh.
Yeah, but I think they figure it out pretty quickly because other people have tried to get that phone game going, and they do figure it out. But yeah, the IP address is a quick one. They'll get you quick.
I've had 13 different devices with TikToks.
Yep. Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you. So hopefully you don't get us kicked off, Abbey. Just joking.
What's up, Abbey? How you been? Do you remember me?
I do remember you. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Melissa, I think it was. I was upset that I didn't get to connect with you. I didn't get your number.
Oh, it's all good. We'll figure it out. Glad you're doing well.
Right, community's coming together. It's good to see. We're also going to have another reunion class at some point. So a lot of you people that get to meet or have met, I guess, first in person, which is kind of wild and kind of cool. We're looking forward to hearing some more of those stories. So welcome. And then we got Crystal's back. Crystal Lane, what's happening, Crystal?
I'm good. Glad to be here, guys.
Yep. Crystal and Charlie. Charlie, what's happening? You're back.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
So it was kind
got it
of Crystal and Charlie, I think, that kind of kicked off the idea for this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were chatting about the Dead Sea Scrolls, because I grew up in a New Age Christian church partially. My dad was involved in a New Age Christian church. And when the Dead Sea Scrolls came out, a book came out in 1992 about them, and our whole church got a hold of it, and they were doing reading groups, and other New Age churches around the United States were doing these reading groups. And I had kind of reflected on that recently and wondered why the scrolls were so heavily marketed to the New Age. So I after listening to JK's breakdown of Enoch, this whole area has been of interest to me, and especially looking into the marketing of Enoch to our community. Wondering, why are they focusing so heavily on the Nephilim and things like that, on like in the New Age community, on the Gaia Network, the History Channel. So that's kind of where I was kind of examining this whole area from. But yeah, I don't know. That was run-on sentence. Crystal?
Well, we started talking about the different ways, because we were talking about if Genesis 6 proves out correct, and I believe it is, that bottom line, there had to be more than one way, because it's before the flood. After that, it says Nimrod became a Gibberine, but that word doesn't mean he was born that way. So obviously there was changes. And so we got to talking about it, and we're like, well, they could do this and they could do that. And then Michael Levin came up in the conversation, and there went everything about microvoltage, the transpiration of the cell, phage and phase state, changing things. And we were blowing Booma's whole chat up. So we decided we'd just go online where all of us could talk about it. So.
Yeah, this came together really quick, and it's kind of exciting topic. And then when we locked in Sabrina Wallace last night, I was like, oh, it's on. So we got a video here that kind of sparked it too. This channel, Stranger Than Fiction. I'll pull it up real quick. We won't watch the whole thing probably this time, because we got too many people with lots of great stuff to share. But this is what kind of kicked it off. The Nephilim are not genetic hybrids. If you guys have ever seen this channel, The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction does some great work. And we'll get to this in just a moment when you guys are ready. I'm just hosting this thing, so however you guys want to do it. But I want to go back, yes, to Sabrina. Go ahead.
I changed my mind. It's to call the magic glasses is too plain. They are my divinitas aperture, my divine aperture, because there's nothing here.
All right. Prepare the memes.
You know it. Yeah,
I'm out.
you're going to be busy. Mary asked a question right before we came on stream about what was your favorite part of the Ohio classes? And I just want to highlight that there were so many the classes were very different, from the healer class to the land healing class, different and so much fun. But my favorite part was the hibiscus tea, this beautiful set of flowers, the best trail mix I've ever had. And that comes from that man right there and his beautiful wife, Andy. So thank you, Mac. Again, I think everybody with the healer class, because we were going for several hours in multiple stations, but we had the best spread organic fruit. It was wonderful.
Next time we'll bring the food truck. Make it even better.
What up?
That's what I'm in right now. We just picked it up. So that's where I'm doing this.
Oh, he wasn't even paying attention. That's a legit food truck you got rocking there.
It
Yeah.
is.
Wow, dude. So what are you going to be doing in there?
We're going to do breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, but funnily enough, it's going to be biscuits. So it's going to be biscuit breakfast sandwiches, lunch breakfast sandwiches, biscuit sandwiches. So yeah, I always think
Any
about
gravy
biscuits.
in there?
Oh yeah,
That's what I was thinking. Where's the gravy?
sausage gravy, all the good stuff.
Dude, you're gonna have to get
Well-
yourself a biscuit doll from Liz and Art, and you're
I
gonna have
know.
to use that to rep some stuff. You might have to add a little TV to it and then play some of biscuit shows.
Well, I have one thing on the menu. It's called the normie. So I'm trying to get people a little familiarized with the synergy lingo. But
Yes, it's called a Norman.
the normie,
The
like
normie.
a normie, yeah.
Right, and Sabrina shared a video where it was called like the difference between normies and like glowies, was it? Sorry,
I watched
gotta
that video.
mute you. What's a glowy?
Oh,
Can we talk
fat,
about
right?
that, or what is it, Sabrina?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out myself. I think they mean the spiritual people that think they're having ascension symptoms. That's what I think they're referring to.
I had never heard it. You shared that video, and I watched some of it, and I was like, I've never even heard of a glowy. What the heck? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, maybe it'll be a term that blows up a little bit more. But now we got Heather in the house. What's happening, Heather?
What's up, Heather?
Hey. How's it going?
Good. Did Belita have to step out?
Yeah. So I've
Okay.
taken her place.
All right. Well, if she comes back, we can.
We may go play more musical panel, but
Right.
Okay. So I saw a video about a glowy, and it was the visual light, as I understood it, was someone who sits in front of the TV and they just got the glow around them.
Oh.
They're just hypnotized by the TV.
The television people.
Pretty much. And
The
I
people
don't know
that
if that's appropriate. That's just how I saw it. I'm like, oh.
Right. Well, maybe some people that'll come across this or that are in the chat will also have some stuff, because I am interested. I've never heard that term before. Normies has been around for a while, but glowies all of a sudden.
And I just heard it too. So kind of ironic, huh?
It would make sense, because like a normie could be someone that doesn't really prescribe to anything. They just live in their own little world of whatever it is. But a glowy could be somebody that's completely tapped into the programming that comes through television and the channels that they watch, and they're constantly plugged into the hive mind or whatever it is just like what we're showing right here. This right here, not the awesome characters that are below the title, of course, but in the top where you got Skeletor and you got Masters of the Universe, it gets into a lot of topics that are going to be on the table when it comes to human augmentation and what they've been telling us kind of through these movies, or what they're depicting, or what they're trying to get people excited about, because everybody wants to be a superhero or have superpowers and all this kind of stuff. And then at the same time, this is a world where, like, what's the stuff that like Sabrina and some of the stuff that we've talked about on the channel, they suppress us. They suppress our abilities and what we're capable of doing, while luring out there all kinds of magical and you could become a god kind of concepts and different archetypes over time. So we got a lot of great conversation that can be had. I wanted to start a little bit. Sabrina, you have classes coming up? Did you want to announce them real quick? Just to give people a heads up, because you got your South Carolina coming up, then North Carolina, and then Alabama, correct?
Yes.
And Mike, I have to mute you. If I mute you, don't take it personally. Every once in a while, it gets a little loud. You're muted. All right, bro.
So
Go for it.
it's currently Sunday. This coming Friday and Saturday, the 10th of July, we will be in South Carolina at the Spark Hilton in Somerville. You can see all these cool JPEGs Booma made for us on the videos on YouTube. And then the following weekend, we're going to be in North Carolina, which will be July 17th. And the times are the same, Friday and Saturday at every class. Friday is 5 to 8 p.m., Saturday noon to 6 p.m. Okay. I know we've got one there that says 7, because each time at these locations, the ending on Saturday is kind of different. So 7 is, and people are always, talking before they leave. So that's up to people. But anyways, and then the next weekend after that is going to be Rainbow City Community Center in Rainbow City, Alabama. And that's Friday, July 24th. Same thing, 5 to 8, and then Saturday, noon to 6 p.m. But in Alabama, we will be having the Synergy Jamboree from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Pavilion 4 in Noccalula Falls Park in Gadsden. So these are all set in stone. Everything is good to go. North Carolina is going to have more emphasis on land healing, so we'll be able to go outside. South Carolina is going to be similar to the healers class type from Ohio, because there's lots of folks coming in to show things, but we're not going to be doing things like we did in the Ohio class where you actually turn down the lights for that many people. The standard class, so we have a little land healing in there, is what we're rolling with for now, but we'll see. Depends on who shows up with what. And then Alabama, same thing. So I've been working on these for the jewelry board. We have lots of bracelets and stuff that you'll see it when you get there with all the different jewelry that folks donated. And yeah, should be a lot of fun. It's going to be the same things that y'all already did with dodgeball and magnetism. And here's all the tools, the usual affair. And then the boot scoot and boogie. And yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Everybody was I knew people were gonna ask, so I had to let you load that up because it's happening quick. South Carolina coming right up, and Dawn Christine from the Facebook's gonna be there. She's got her own little Facebook celebrity thing going on, and she hates when I say that. But hi, Dawn. I hope you're watching. People are gonna be really excited to meet both you and Sabrina.
Yeah, that one. And we also have had a couple calls because we have some folks coming from Australia, Canada, and a few other international type locations. So if you are coming in internationally, please send an email to the firewall info@synergy.com, because we want to make sure that you have a spot. The classes are free, but the Ohio classes, we're getting up to 64 on the last one, and our capacity in South Carolina and North Carolina is right around 70, between 70 and 80, and we're real close. So we just want to make sure our international people are taken care of, and we'll all work together. We'll figure it out. Alabama, the capacity is up to 200, so we're good.
You have 200 capacity in Alabama.
Yes, because we blew out 75.
Oh my gosh.
Twice.
I'm so glad I went to the first one. It was a nice, cozy little cafe, chilling
Wow.
in Missouri, man. I don't like big crowds.
Hang on, though. Hang on. I agree with you. But what ends up happening, which I think you'll find interesting, is that's why Verona, Missouri was so private. Like you said, we had, 38 to 42, But the Ohio classes, Velvet was there. There was a different person off to the side. There was, Manya, Arcania. There were 3 tables there, then mine. There was just so much interaction that you had a group of 20 over here, a group of 5 over there, a group of 4 over here. And then on Saturday night, people, like in between classes too, people elongated their stay and they rearranged and shuffled. And they were outside doing right hand down, left hand up, talking. That's how Abbey was so helpful to a ton of people. She would be saying certain things, and then other groups would stop, listen, and then everybody could communicate. She's like a translator, Abbey, right there. So that.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't get my hotel room till after 10 o'clock p.m. I didn't even intend to stay. And then like some crazed fangirl, I waited outside the hotel. But people, it's not like I was trying to hide it. People saw me doing it. I'm like, I'm not leaving till I talk to her.
That's how it's done. And is that a fucking crossbow behind you? That's sick.
Oh, shit. I don't want to get you taken down. Sorry.
That's awesome. You're ready to rock and roll at any time.
That's the
That's how it's done.
Oh, I go nowhere without it. I had 3 dudes try to steal my daughter in broad daylight.
Okay, so yeah, but that's
Abby,
not
you
the
gotta
crossbow.
come over, definitely,
Yeah,
so we can do it together.
Wait, so okay, right before we get to the next part, well, the jamboree is going to be something special. That Alabama is going to be the last class, or are you thinking about doing one more?
Oh, no, we will have other classes, but they're not going to be until closer to either the end of fall or into spring. I skipped the winter.
Are you going to be coming back? Will you have more classes in Ohio?
Oh, yeah. Ohio is the only one that is annual. So that'll be June every year.
Okay.
Because Manya's right there. That's why. But
right.
all I was trying to say about the more amount of people, the firewall and I split that between us, and it just gave folks more opportunity to learn what they needed to.
But these 3 will be the last for this stretch, and then there'll be a break in between, and then you'll announce more later on.
Yes, they'll be in different segments, but we will be going to, or in between Ann Arbor and Detroit, Michigan, Richmond, Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Awesome. So are you hiring Mac to drive his food truck alongside the party bus?
We are all working on this because his food was extremely impressive. His ladies' cooking skills are off the charts. So yeah, we got to get the bus going first, and then
So you could like do oh man, you could do so much with that. This thing's just growing. And Firewall, if you're listening, Scooby-Doo bus. I'll take all the blame. Anyways, what else we got?
Oh my god, the memes are writing themselves.
Yeah.
Take notes. You're gonna have so many memes. You'll be making memes while the show's going. I guarantee it. I better check the Telegram.
I can't because my computer is a potato and they exploded out.
Oh, if you're trying to do one while we're doing this, oh man, you better just start writing notes and getting yourself ready because we can get fired up.
Yeah.
All right. Lucia does some amazing memes, and then Monica, and then Charley, and then everybody piling on top of it in the Booma Booma San Telegram chat has been off the chain. I wake up and I'm laughing every time I wake up, and maybe it won't be like that every single day, but lately it's been fire. And Liz's hillbilly heart dolls and the things that she's creating, the crocheting plushies, all the stuff that she's making, those things are taking off, and it's beautiful to see. Sharing is caring in this community, and so I love seeing it. And then the joy of laughter is something special that they can't take from us, so enjoy it. I know, right? We need a Scooby-Doo bus, and we need to be able to just jump aboard, and now we have a food truck. Max got that. We're all handled.
I'm 45 and I've never bought anything with like, I've never financed anything. Everything I've ever bought's been with cash. But right. I'm looking now to buy a Class C RV.
Oh my God.
I want the vehicle and the joy cart, whatever you want to call it, camper, connected. I don't want to have to buy 2 different vehicles, one to pull it but I want one really bad. And it sounds like it would go good with this. Like I could caravan people around.
Next year is going to be off the chain.
Yeah.
Right, going over to the west side and stuff like that. That'll be a wonderful experience. Get up in the Pacific Northwest is where I grew up. It's beautiful up there.
In San Diego, Joanne, where are you at? We got agreements.
Yeah.
Yep. Get down Cali, Oregon. I mean, careful in
Not
Cali.
far from there. She's Orange County, so
Right.
it works.
Right. So anyways, let's kick off the topic here. So we got Masters of the Universe. There's a little He-Man. Obviously, they made another Masters of the Universe. And I saw a little bit of the preview. It was weird. He was sitting in an office and it had the whole he, him, I think, pronouns on his desk. And so He-Man, they've turned it into this pronoun thing that they're pushing out there into the woke agenda or whatever it is. But anyways, some of the stuff that's coming in are archetypes that they've been pushing for a long time. They come in different forms. And so we'll get into some of this discussion. But before that, Crystal, you were kind of like laying out a little bit of where this started. I'd love for you to be able to kind of what we talked about before we went live. If you wanted to just drop that on the people, that was well said.
Sure. Basically, we were talking about it started out because of Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, his video. He shows a video giving his perspective about Genesis 6, and that maybe we were wrong about people in the past saying that it had to be a genetic hybrid, as in DNA RNA mixed with DNA RNA. That's not necessarily true. And the more we talked about it, the more we got into Dr. Michael Levin's work, the electroporation of the cell, phage and phase state, the ability to cause it to differentiate, proliferate, everything depending on the microvoltage, the frequency, the amplitude, and the timing. So there's a lot of different ways these augmentations could have happened. And it started because we were talking about how we are socially engineered to want to be more than human, want to be something that we're not, are stronger than a normal human, or able to do superhuman things, from Bionic Woman to He-Man to Marvel Comics. It's pushed everywhere.
Yep. That's it, Crystal. Nice.
Charlie, did you want to add on that since you guys were having this conversation to kick things off?
No, I think we're set to go.
Extreme photo! She just loves it when I do that. Okay, if we're set there, then real quick, I forgot. Sal, Denise, and a couple other people chimed in. So a glowy is an internet slang for government agent, informant, or undercover operative, such as from the FBI or CIA, who has infiltrated online spaces. Now, that is a good one to have us understand and know, because I think we've seen plenty of them, even if we don't always recognize them right off the bat. So anyways, awesome. And thank you for that, Crystal. Did we want to, so Sabrina, did you want to start off with anything before we get started? We have this Stranger Than Fiction video. We're going to watch the first little segment of this and then maybe get the discussion going, or you can kick it off, because I know that you had something before the show too.
Oh, well, just as a reminder to people who are hung up on DNA does not exist. That is a very real theory, whether you agree or not. When it comes to what Crystal just referenced with Dr. Michael Levin, we're talking about electricity, bioelectricity, pressure, sound, and water. And they're always perturbating and shaking. They're changing the morphology of the cell. And when you do that with electricity, light, photons, pressure, barometry, magnetometry, biomagnetism, or sound, acoustic, and that's what they do all day. The intelligent reflective surfaces, the smart, any surface with that, other bodies, all the bacteria, the mycelial networks, which y'all went over last show, I think it was, with, like the Morgellons and the nanowire, the internet of bodies, the internet of animals, the internet of everything, literally. And they don't need a nanobot or a chip when they can change the environment real close to the skin, under the skin. That's why fish in a fishbowl is such a big deal. So through the Armin to a fish flipper discussion here with augmentation, I can't remember who it was brought up that Charlie, I think it was you, that the New Age community was also hyper fixated on, the aliens bred with us, etc. Well, if they would get the hell out from between us and our environment, then we wouldn't be seeking to be extra. We could just be normal. It's what they're doing that is causing all these problems. Right. But they do that for themselves. And you don't need to breed with them. They can do it without having to, get in there and futz around. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that some people have a solid academic scholarly track where they don't believe in DNA. There's good reason for that. So just remember, you have water, pressure, photons, light, and sound. And of course, their favorite, electricity, biomagnetism all around. And epigenetics, meaning your environment, is way, way more powerful than CRISPR-Cas9. But that's why the body itself, as a body area network, is a more powerful relay than a smart meter on a house. So they're playing with bacteria, and that is Armin to a fish flipper augmentation. And I just wanted to make sure that's there before we embark on this endeavor, because the other big, going to burst your bubble now, get ready, here goes your golden cow, I'm a pureblood. Nobody is, because you've been breathing, and they've been running this crap since Vietnam. In case you don't know, that's the 70s. They're good to go. So everybody has had augmentation because it's your environment. And that's why it's so different for each person. But if you don't want to turn into anything else, and you're not interested in uploading to the cloud, or, all the different biohacking that's real popular right now, I think this will be a good show.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And I think if we continue with the party bus and the Scooby-Doo bus, it will probably need armor plates, and it might be part of the resistance as they try to funnel us into 15-minute cities. It'll be the synergist band that'll be pushing back as the resistance against the whatever you want to call the glowy system.
Can I ask a question before we move on?
Rock and roll.
Or not really ask a question, but throw this out, because yesterday I was studying and I got this real deep sense of study. First of all, studied Genesis 3:15, not Genesis 6. Okay, I've studied Genesis 6 many times, but Genesis 3:15 is the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent, right? There'll be an enmity. What if, because IVF plays a huge role in this, okay, if we're talking about genetics, with genetics, what if they can put a false light into an embryo before the biochemical reaction of zinc that appears as light? So when a sperm fertilizes an egg, a burst of zinc happens. It appears as a burst of light. What if that is the soul being placed in? Do you see what I'm saying? If they can manipulate that light before it ever, because it
So
has to do with light.
I'm going to jump in right away because we're about to get started and people get uppity when you start talking about the soul, but you have a good point. But what I would say is they wouldn't have gone to all this trouble and be screwing the way they do if the soul wasn't there naturally already. So they're going after something. If they're going to spoof the light, they're spoofing everything else. But how do we know that even the equipment that we're looking at, that they'd be able to do that? And for the cloning, the augmentation, the life extension, regenerative medicine, they don't need that. They don't need a soul. They don't want one anyways. They just want to continue the cycle with the genetics, in my opinion.
What if it's a digital twin soul kind of a thing, though?
The same problem. That's not a soul life spark that regenerates. That's a different type of synthetic system that is parasitic because it needs to interact with your cells to make itself whatever it's doing.
Right.
What if they can actually already fake it out? What if that spark that we see is actually just a microelectric voltage that's taking place and in God's design, but something they're able to do themselves too? With technology, we wouldn't know the difference looking at that, which it is. I mean, that's just a thought, since they can use electricity. And electricity.
And I just want to reiterate, I'm not coming from a place of religion, hopium. No, I'm going from the law of averages, mean, median, and mode, Occam's razor. They wouldn't need the system if the soul wasn't there, elusive on its own. Something's in their way, because boy, that's a lot of work if it wasn't.
Right. And what Abby's talking about, I think if Biscuits was here, he'd probably have the exact video, but we did watch a video of that with an embryo, and there was a spark when zinc was added, or however they caught it on, however they fucking did it, I don't know. But there is something to that. That is interesting. And before we get too far, Eternus, you left early on the show, the GG Co show. You won a free month, bro, or lady, but assuming bro, I don't always know. But anyways, you got to get an email sent over to info@getgg.co. Send it over to Biscuits. He's got a free month on the GGCO website for you. You missed out, but you won on the spin. So, yes, free month. You can try it out. I know you had some skepticism, but you can get in there and try it out for free for a whole month. Get in there. You'll love it. Anyway, I just want to throw that out there since I saw him in the chat. But if Biscuits was around, he'd have that exact video. But this will be interesting. And the good thing about what I like is going on here is I think that there is people that are coming from like a little bit different spiritual like belief places or whatnot. And so far, we've had really good experiences with agreeing to disagree. But I think the discussion is what helps us come to terms a little bit better with what is going on in the world, because it's so fucking hard to know some of the answers. And everybody should be a free thinker and think for themselves, but it'll improve the discussion if we have differing views so that we can have these discussions and maybe enlighten some more minds, if you will. So anyways, should we start with just that opening part of this video? You guys ready for that? Rock and roll. All right, I'm going to pull it up. Make this happen. This is the Nephilim are not genetic hybrids. We'll start with just the intro.
When do you feel this blatant turn towards the occult and witchcraft really took on its momentum?
Well, there's a cartoon called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe really broke the ground on this cartoon occultism.
We're going to play a little segment here showing the transformation of He-Man.
What you just seen is He-Man being transformed. In fact, his name is Adam.
Yeah.
First man.
Interesting.
Until he's transformed, and then he becomes He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, by lifting his sword in the air and yelling by the power of Grayskull. Now, to understand this, we have to understand what Grayskull is. It is a castle built by unknown hands in the shape of the skull, and there's a demon spirit living within it that manifests in the shape of a skull. And so our good character is empowered by occultic demon spirits. In fact, I was talking to one lady, and I've heard a number of experiences like this, but she said, my little boy was in the back seat of the car, and a radio preacher came on and said, our Lord God, the master of the universe. And her boy jumped from the back seat of the car and said, Mommy, God isn't master of the universe, He-Man is. Running around in circles saying, He-Man has more power than Jesus. He-Man has more power than Jesus. This is Tila, and this young lady is involved in witchcraft, and you'll notice that she's a very voluptuous-looking thing, and they wear very tightly clad clothes and sometimes even negligee type things on the show.
So there's a sensuality about the toys also.
Yes.
There's several faces, the many faces in this little toy, which change, but you know, you can become a skeleton creature, and we could go around to the different faces. And this has got to have some kind of a message to the children.
Oh, definitely. It says you can be demon-possessed and still be good.
And Skeletor is this ugly-looking skeletal creature with a staff in his hand. Now, what's that staff that he's got in his hand?
The staff is a ram's head staff. Now, the ram's head is a very occultic symbol. It's boiled in cauldrons. It's used in different occult practices.
Of course, we know that the goat's head, the ram's head, represents Satan anyway in the occult. So little boys are really being programmed to evil. Could we talk about Snake Mountain for
Sure,
just a minute?
let's take a look at it.
It's got an interesting little feature here. I'm going to turn it on. It can actually transform your voice from your regular voice to that of an occultic hero. Is that correct? So let's get a Skeletor type of voice. Let me turn this on here. I think I'm getting it too loud. Skeletor, the master of the universe.
All right, so then it goes into a little intro there. I'll just let it kind of play in the background a little bit. But technology back then, you think you got that thing up too loud? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I have my phones on. I mean, Jesus.
I know. I should have freaking muted that part or something because I had watched it before. But anyways, this is a little glimpse of the actual new movie that I think it's out now. I think it came out early June 5th, I think is what it'll say. But the new movie of He-Man, so they're reigniting the Masters of the Universe, which is what they do with a lot of these old cartoons or movies or shows. They bring them back to the new audience, which is the youth today. And there you go, them showing all this stuff. But he made some pretty big connections there as far as like cult stuff, archetypes, He-Man getting the sword. And it's weird that it's like a gray skull. I think it was 82 when it first came out. We'll come back to this maybe a little bit later in the program because we're going to get the discussion going here. But and I don't know who wants to take the reins to start off with first, but there's a lot of interesting things there. How He-Man gets this sword and his name is actually Adam, and then he becomes a powerful like god, a little g god or something, if you want to say that, when he has his sword all of a sudden.
Yeah, I just want to say that whatever story is out there, they're always that humans are stupid or evil or weak. And if you want to be the hero, you have to be, there have to happen something. And then you are no more like human. And it's the same way for the villains.
True.
Right, because they always, they're not human. So always the same stuff that they try to sell you. You are not enough. Just say.
Agreed. That was great. Anybody else can jump in? Go ahead. What's your take on that kind of stuff, Sabrina, as far as like him tying it to the occult and the way that they put this kind of stuff out there? Because I know you pushed back a little bit on some of this kind of stuff. No, this exactly. Because they do push this stuff out there. You don't believe in predictive programming the way that I guess a lot of it gets pushed. But what do you think when you see something like this? Is it not leaning towards maybe like the fallen angels and the regurgitation of these old stories that they've always told humanity to make them like lured into the idea that we can become our own gods?
Yeah, but those are control systems that are worldwide. We call them religions. They go that we're not taught to become gods. Well, they say the same things in a lot of ways, but it's Lucia summed it up. You're not enough. So you need our religion. You need our control system. You need something. My caution with, and it's all programming to a degree. I don't believe in pre-programming with that universal law excuse of, see, they're telling you because you saw a movie. It ain't the same thing as telling people what you do at college. Okay. And that's the dissonance we deal with all the time. So in my world, all my life, I've grown up with this fear-mongering arguments in the home, arguments between friends. That's, like for me, it was the Harry Potter books. You're not allowed to read Harry Potter books because they have robes and magic wands, and that's all witches. But when you go back and research antiquity, you're going to be real disappointed to find out. Hey, Angelos. If you go back into antiquity for where all these books are coming from through our universities, you're going to be very disappointed to find out that this is repetitious, and you don't need anything other than that human-to-human betrayal to keep it going. So my biggest issue is when the presentation is that it's an evil toy and it's all the occult. Well, it's the Christians that let this all go on. Right. They're just as bad as all the other religions, or as good, or as whatever, because this is about humans making other humans feel less than, to dehumanize, for then those psychopathic, control freak, whatever it is that's giving them the money to do that. And then they go and do it in regards to resources. So I understand that they put a lot of occult things, like it was more than He-Man and She-Ra, even My Little Pony and whatnot. But the problem we have today is that people looking at that and they go polarized, which is it's all evil, it's bad. But those same people that tell you that, when you want to talk to them about healthcare 4.0, they just start screaming. They devolve. They can't hold a conversation. The heart's not electrical. Even if it was, God will save me. I'm going to pray the Wi-Fi away. It's delusional. And that's why you have to be careful with pattern recognition, because in my opinion, this is the same thing they always do. You are less than, you need me, you need us. Here, let me give you money to screw over the village. Oh, you're good, nobody else is good. That's really what I see repeated.
Right. I agree with some of it. I do. I think it's interesting. Maybe they just like to mock us because they do put it out there. I don't know if it's some form of their religion when it comes to the occultists or the Satanists or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what even they can call themselves.
No, you're dealing with people that enjoy knowing something you don't, so that they can manipulate you right out in the open and make you look stupid. Between them, it's a big joke. That's all it really is.
Yes, and the word occult is just hidden, right?
Yeah,
it's not.
They always make it sound like it's a rite, or like, the way that Christians have reverence for when you do something like Eucharist, or prayer. That is not what's going on over there. They just really like to know something you don't, so they can laugh at you. That's it. It's a real thing. When they get into the whole ×3 and all their cosmology, you have to put back the electromagnetic spectrum, quantum mechanics. They don't have that. They just have a lot of mouth moving, which is why it's always 50-50 whether or not their stuff works, because it's all based on human-to-human betrayal, whether it's technology, manipulation, optical manipulation. I'm not saying that augmenteds don't exist and they don't have, you know what I mean? But what I am saying is the repetition of it, preparing the masses, putting the toys out, normalizing it, etc. It's the same problem we still have, in my opinion. Now we got Dr. Michael Levin augmentation. That's going to be interesting.
Right.
I have an observation too.
Go for it.
I think at both ends of the political spectrums, like the extreme right wing, people see it as like you just have to deal with the augmented people and all the crazy stuff because it's a spiritual adventure and it's just part of everything. So just pray the Wi-Fi away. And then on the other extreme on the left, the world's so screwed up that we need all this technology. We need all these things to deal with how bad the world is. But they all meet like at the end, like kind of the circle, they all interconnect. So it's like full spectrum brainwashing, I guess, is how I see it.
Full spectrum Delulu.
Yeah. The Lulu is the Sololo at this point. Yeah.
Oh man, you got some great memes on that. I don't want to open up the can of worms right now, but I am not real familiar with Michael Levin as far as what you're talking about. Is there any way to like
good for you? Good for you. Yeah.
Crystal, the video.
Okay, I mean, like I said, I don't want to open the can of worms. Like anybody give us an option.
Crystal shared a video today of the Mark Levin, and I think it wasn't very long either. It was a really good video. It showed about the cell division and all that. Crystal shared it in the Booma chat. Was it the Booma chat that you shared it in, Crystal?
I shared it in Synergy, I think.
Okay.
But did I share it in both? I can't remember actually, Abby, but I can tell you that basically when you go and read the chat under that video, these are all young 20-somethings who think that they're going to save the world. This is the most brilliant man that's ever been born. He deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Dr. Michael Levin is next to God as far as they're concerned, if they believe in God. So it's kind of disheartening to me to see where it's going, only because they're never looking at the value of just being a human. There's no value given to just being human at all. And
This
that's
guy?
really frustrating. To
Yep,
me.
that's
Yes.
him.
Oh, I've seen this guy. He's creepy looking.
This same scientists, they're very excited, happy. They're trying to new knowledge, and for them, I don't know. People are excited. It's great. It's good, until you realize that you are augmented, and now you are the property of somebody, and they
Right.
will terminate you.
These kids are going to line up for this.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And that's one thing that's bad about all this social engineering, is because it was bad enough in the 70s and 80s when we were little, and the 90s. But now look at it. We don't just have a He-Man or a My Little Pony. We have extremes being put out. Then we have a government who says being a super soldier is the greatest thing since ice cream.
See that?
Doing super soldier conferences. Okay. So even the ones who maybe would start out being happy with who they are going to feel they're not enough. And then where does that leave normal kids who are very happy with who they are? How are they supposed to compete in that world? So it's a lot of questions, whether you look at it from a spiritual side, a humanistic side. It breeds trouble. I see nothing but trouble on the turnpike. I do.
Well, there's no normal child going forward. Melania came out with the AI companion, which is the
Right.
digital twin system, and Michael Dell, Trump, and the rest of them got the W-band blockchain going with the money incentives for every child
Right.
born between 2024, etc. And there is no normal. If you don't get with your digital twin and your AI companion, I mean, they already have a school in Chicago running it. You will be
Right.
augmented, or you ain't going to get a job. Now, I hate to say it, but this goes back to what we read on the channel. COVID-19 can be considered a form of human augmentation.
Absolutely.
They
Hacking the
keep
software
using
of
this.
life. They were
Yeah.
very, very clear about that.
So they're not even getting a choice to be a quote
No.
normal human. They're being told right away in grade school, here's your best friend going to teach you forever. We're going to put it inside your head and you're good. So why do they want to learn to read? Why would they want to waste their time with all these other things that are archaic, and you're not going to be normal, or you're not going to have friends, a job, an environment, and the adults are nowhere. They're just nowhere because they're so caught up in the polarized social engineering. So the children are going, man, I need a job. I'm going to have to do something. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to everybody. I know a lot of us have very powerful spiritual feelings about this, but at the same time, start pointing the finger at, are you going to college? Have you been doing this for 15 years, wide open in universities? And thank you, Booma, for asking, who's Dr. Levin? Well, he's the one that made the self-reproducing xenobots. There's your nanobots 12, 15 years ago. I mean, the children are being told, Melania, and that whole push with all the companies being paid already with our tax dollars, your digital twin is your AI companion. We're getting rid of the Department of Education the way it was, because AI is already running government. And children, kindergarten through 12, will have their digital twin. That's it. There was no choice.
I did see that he was a Harvard boy, and Epstein had his own little office in Harvard. And you talk about Epstein in a different way than you hear most of the influencers online talking about it. It was a lot about genetics and a lot about this nano and the manipulations that they were doing.
Omics.
Yes. I mean, I think that even in the Epstein files, they were talking about the biofield. Was that Dr. Chopra?
Yes. Yeah, because they were hiding it, because Dr. Michael Levin is who wrote the paper in 2013, cracking the bioelectric code. That's a wiring diagram of your biofields, plural, because technically your EEG, the electricity in the brain, is separated from the electricity or electromagnetism of the heart and the gut microbiome, and that is the IEEE electron, a wiring diagram of the biofield. And so Dr. Levin started off with that in 2013. And then the Federal Register goes off in 2014, Medical Body Area Network. And so the NIH followed suit in 2015 and said, oh, yeah, biofields are your heartbeat, your heart cells, you know, your EEG and biophotons. Big deal. And here we are in 2026, 11 years later, we're still arguing with people about how their Fitbit works. It's all by design, I'm telling you. I mean, there's no point in getting worked up at a toy company. I know we all know that. But again, it's this desire that one of the things I thought of when you mentioned it, as well as these children wanting to save the world. Well, did we cure cancer? Well, they are. Did we stop all these autoimmune disorders? Well, they are. Did we fix the geoengineering? Well, they are. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Appreciate you, Mike. We'll get Mike back on, especially for the reunion. I'm looking forward to hearing from that guy. Mike, you're awesome. Looking forward to chatting soon. I'm really encouraged right now, too. At Christian 33, you're a little newer here, but you're saying you're 19 years old. Welcome. We need people like you. We need the young to get connected into this. I have never heard of looks maxing. What?
Oh,
is
that's
that?
the Kepler guy with changing the surface. We had an electropropulsion specialist type of brain, 22 years old at our class in Ohio.
Is that Alex? Not Alex. Oh
Ethan.
my God, what was his name?
Or
Ethan.
Evan.
Or Evan. Thank
Yeah.
you, Evan. Yeah, I got his phone number.
So there's more youth coming all the time that are interested in what
And he
what
was
people
smart.
doing with like electricity and magnetism, because they know the fuzzy slippers happen.
Well, what's looks maxing?
Bro,
Community, it says.
you haven't heard of looks maxing? What are you doing?
You want to know what I'm doing?
Thank you, Charlie.
Hold on. You want to know what I'm doing?
Looks maxing.
I'm busy doing this shit. What the fuck are you talking about? What am I doing? I ain't watching all this other shit. I'm creating. There's a bunch of NCs out there. There's Biscuits and I. Welcome, Biscuits. I saw you pulling in. There's a bunch of NCs, non-creatives out there. I'm creating. I'm not watching all this shit. But Charlie, what is this shit?
No, damn it. It's horrible. People are smashing their faces with like hammers to break up the bone structure so that it heals with scar tissue for more a maximal jawline or orbital lobe. I don't know.
Oh, Ozempic, plastic surgery.
Right. The whole gamut.
There you go.
It's out of control. And I'm here in California. It's beyond normalized. When I was in school, the rich girls got a nose job for their 16th birthday and a boob job for their graduation from high school. It was already normalized like that in the 90s. But now everybody at least does a little tweakment, the injectables, all that crap. Anyways, weird tangent for the Nephilim talk, but I guess it isn't too. It is kind of relevant, right?
It is relevant, yeah.
Right.
Sure, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. I mean, they brought all the makeup, you will see. I saw a video of a young Asian dude when he woke up. He doesn't have any hair or whatnot, and he's looking a little scruffy or whatnot. And the video was saying he looked 57 when he woke up, and then he looks 25 at the end. And he had a little wig thing that he put on, but a beautiful shave or whatnot, looked good, whatnot. Anyway, the changing of appearance and to allure, for sexual reasons or whatever it is. And you have that a lot in the culture. I was watching one video today with, I don't even remember the names. Some of these tools and stuff just pops up in everybody, but it was sexual, basically your sexual currency. Like, where do you stand on your meter of being sexually desired? These are obviously things that they must be doing it for that purpose, right? To change their looks for purposes of something that they think is more attractive, or are they just crazy?
They sell also the for success, for be alpha, for be whatever, for be the person. A lot of loneliness. Also, people don't have real interactions with people, and then they fall in this idea. I don't have friends. I don't have girlfriend or boyfriend because of how I look. And,
Have you guys heard of Mouse Utopia?
Yeah, Biscuits and I did a little show on that.
Yeah.
Show.
So like Mouse Utopia. Hi, I'm Zane. Nice to
Zane. Nice to have you actually on the show, man.
Yeah. So Mouse Utopia, like the thing that plays into this discussion is that in Mouse Utopia, essentially they set up a utopia for mice where they would have no needs. They would have no predators. They would have just the absolute perfect situation where they could procreate and be happy. And what they found was after so many generations, the mice just started failing because they didn't have anything to push against in life. And what they created, there was this one category of mouse that they described called the beautiful ones. And they were male mice who spent all of their time grooming and checking themselves, cleaning themselves. They would eat and they would do that. And they didn't procreate. They didn't do anything. And this looks maxing thing, is exactly, it looks identical to that, where these kids, all they care about is how they look. And you say it has to do with sexuality, but in a lot of cases, I don't think it does. It's just all that matters to them is the gram. And it's like this same psychological dysfunction that's Mouse Utopia, beautiful ones. All they want to do is groom themselves and look in the mirror and obsess. And it's Narcissus, right? Who's staring at the reflection in the water and dies of thirst because he won't break his own reflection because he loves it so much. So that's my take. Thanks.
Thank you. Dang.
It goes a little like the situation with transgender. Always this obsession for altering your body. You never satisfy with yourself, I guess. I don't know.
Which keeps it going back to them one way or another. They get access to your body. They can do to you what they want to. They can manipulate. Yeah. And they're the ones that need the cells and the constant stress, not us.
That's kind of crazy. And that does make sense because, Biscuits and I covered that. I think it was called, Universe 25, the beautiful ones. It's crazy that they stopped reproducing. And it's like you got a lot of this push for people to become, Pride Month and gay. So then you're not reproducing. Transgender, and then you're cutting up and mutilating your genetic or your genitals and your reproductive abilities. And now you're having a lot of people that are growing up in these cultures where like sex isn't like on their mind all the time. It's like what we were talking about with this. It's a little different. There's a different desire or reach for what they're doing. And then you're talking about human augmentation. Well, at some point, they really, I think, want control over what kind of reproduction actually gets done. And I think a lot of it will be synthetic. There's wombs now, so people like women won't actually have babies. They can have a surrogate. There's that, but that's still biological in a way. But then you have a literal like synthetic sac that the baby grows in, so that the mother doesn't have to ruin her body by carrying the child. All these different things that are going to be coming into play that are already here, but they're not necessarily being mainstream just yet. But the transgender and the transhumanism and this stuff's going to like roll out. I think all on the timeline that they have. So if you want to have kids, it won't be done like the old-fashioned way. It'll be done in a lab.
Well, the Bible's pretty spot on about that, because all it ever talks about towards the end of the age is people being lovers of themselves. And all you have to do is open Instagram. I mean, you really don't have to look very hard. But it saddens me to think that people are literally going to the point of breaking facial bones and doing all the things they're doing. And that's just, it's very sad to me.
Right.
They're going to need the tech to survive too, because the atmosphere is so augmented.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah, and sex is still a huge thing. I'm not saying that that people aren't interested in sex. It's the reproductive aspects of why we have sex, why we have the two sexes, so that we can reproduce.
Well, one of the things they spoke about academically as well as socially in a very serious manner with the millennials, Gen Z, and the rest of it is that if you have a child willy-nilly, the old-fashioned way, it's like loading Russian roulette. Because what if your child has asthma? What if your child has something wrong? They will blame you for life for not using the genetics to make sure they didn't suffer, you idiot. And then when people push back on that, you should have seen it. The round tables, people in the academic world, and I'm not talking the chat. I mean, right there, they're like, how dare you consider to just do it the old way? Anything could happen. I mean, they were legitimately, physiologically, body language freaked out Did anyone
That's
really
terrifying to me.
consider it?
Me too.
It was everywhere. Like
But they could care less how much sex we're having. They just don't want us to breed unless they say so.
or they want to use it for something.
Right.
Right. I think they like the broken families where they have sex out of wedlock and like the father's not present, and then they can
Absolutely.
have.
That's
they can-
because there's no one to rely on but them. Like I said
Right.
before, keep you coming back, keep you reliant, and therefore any structure that separates you from relying on yourself in your own home, perfect. I mean, that's what they drive at everywhere.
right.
You're more
You
controllable.
don't talk at home anymore. You have to go out for drugs, out for the doctor, out for everything. If grandma or uncle or even mom and dad tell you that, hey, you could take care of this cut or bruise on your own, well, they'll call CPS. What are you doing, you crazy religious? Or. I mean, they're in between everything.
Myrtle, I haven't heard that in a while.
Fertile Myrtle.
Right. So now it's different forms of it, but that whole Universe 25 and the beautiful ones and whatnot, it was a way where they were already, I guess through psychology, being able to cut down on the reproduction of a species. And now it's augmentation. Now there's different offerings. Now there's a 48-hour pill I think a woman can take if she's had sex and she thinks she could get pregnant. Within a certain amount of time, they can take Plan B. And I think you can just go buy that, right? It doesn't have to be a prescription or nothing. You can just go buy that, take it. You won't be pregnant. Or if you do get pregnant, you can go to Planned Parenthood. And then you got organ harvesting coming into play. You got stem cells. You got all kinds of things that it could be a little bit controversial depending on your take on various things or what you look into. But it seems very much that they are buying organs, getting stem cells. You had the Epstein of Canada. What was that creep's name? He was trying to buy women's placentas if they got pregnant.
Oh, he kind of looked like Dracula.
Right.
I know,
What was his
Peter
name?
Nygard or something.
Yes, Nygaard, that sick guy. All these creepy, really powerful men that were doing genetic stuff like that, but then also the stem cell stuff. You got ambrosia of the cycling of young blood into the body. You've got all kinds of augmentations and various things that they're doing, but then now we're going to get into more of the I mean, if we, what I would like, since we have Sabrina here, is to get into some of the talks that you've been having about what we're really looking at here, because we just had the MK Ultra hearings, which are going to go nowhere. And then it's old. Like, this goes back many decades of when this stuff was going on, even though they still use it, sure. But what is the abilities they have now that they're not telling us about, Sabrina?
Well, thanks, Dorian. I haven't spoken about the MK Ultra thing at all anywhere, not even on the channel.
I know, but you sent some stuff back and forth, and I never got your take, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, there was a reason for that, because I was thinking, what are you guys doing? Well, they're going to, in my opinion, they're going to use the MK Ultra excuse as manufactured consent, which means that all this time when I said, yo, this is already deployed, legislated. So what they're going to do is say, look what they did. They did MK Ultra. We need the W band so that we can offer you neurodata laws that have been going on for 4 or 5 years. So where you can choose a rogue hacker or a rogue company, keep them out of your brain computer interface, body machine interface, body interface, whatever. A bunch of different names. And that's it. The military, academia, the government, everybody is exempt. So all these people screaming, oh, look what they did. Welcome to your health care. And so when you say to me, well, what do you think they're already doing? Well, I know I've seen it between Gunsmoke on the TV, Ozempic, and then the different peptides and biohacking. People are looking at that all the time like, yeah, that's a good idea. I want to try that. And when they run into trouble, like I said, with take your cancer away in 48 hours and all these young people going, yeah, we're going to get rid of cancer. Putin and Xi said we're going to live to 180. And that's where the market share is. So what they already have out there on the HDI Act is the synthetic red blood cells juxtaposition would go off on a tear about how it was around when he was racing bicycles 20 years ago. And HDI Act proves that out as well. Then when you go into the data centers that are real, not this crazy with water and, superconducting centers versus the data centers, but they've been using this molecular communication stuff for human augmentation since 2014. So in other words, if you want to have a life, your looks maxing, your world is online, very much Ready Player One style. And the augmentation of organelles and organoids, system on a chip, like you have not a Neuralink, but a living neuron. So you have a little synthetic biology laying on top of your neurons. Dude, they use that in IBM workflow. They're all proud of themselves 2 years ago with agentic AI. Your AI agent talks to your brain for work. And over in China, this kind of stuff is well known. You put the headset on the child sitting at the desk, which is what Melania and them are all excited about putting in the schools. So like I said, the positioning that we are authentically in is the following. Do you want a job? No. Well, then you get universal basic income, but that comes with, you can only purchase certain things. And if you're not contributing your biological energy or doing what they want you to, they can pull it, put you somewhere else. And that's why, for me, I don't understand why people are so, like with the Q people. Where are the Q people that once they found out that their precious Department of Energy, artificial intelligence, the Q, that is supposed to love them so much, is the same artificial intelligence doing like the Golden Dome and whatever, but nobody said anything. They just said, well, the Q is going to save us. So the real augmentation we're dealing with is the Living Weapons program, and that was 3 years ago now. And that's the same thing as South by Southwest and this IBM living neurons, no chip required. You augment your biology the way that Dr. Levin talked about, the way that Charley was showing the slides with the nanowire or the Morgellons. It's just a few cells at a time, and pretty soon your own cells cannot do what they want to do. And everybody seems to be good with that because they're busy logging in. So that's why I said arm into a fish flipper, like 2-3 years ago, but I wanted to be wrong. And I came out the other side going, no, this is investment for regenerative medicine and life extension technology. And it's
but not for you and for me, just for the big rich people.
Yeah, they don't talk about that either, that the stakeholders on top, it's a master slave SCADA system. But they do talk about it a little bit right now because the youth found out and got real mad on the Bitcoin stage about a year ago. And now there's more of them getting mad for different bio reasons and whatever, but they have no power. They already gave it away because these systems have been running for 30 years of bodies. They're good, in my opinion. Does that answer your question, Dorian?
Yes. And there's, a million things we could talk about because now we have robots coming into play and people are going to be having sex with robots instead of actually having human to human.
Well, that's for the synthetic wombs to ensure that genetics are changed in each step, the 3 steps of gestation. You get to program what you want your baby to grow like playing The Sims with your own
designer
sperm.
babies.
Designer
babies.
Designer babies.
Yeah.
The elite or elots, is that what it is, Crystal? How lovely 777.
She says Elites.
Elites.
Yeah, Canaanites, Hittites. She says
that's why they're called the elites.
All the way back to Samaria, basically.
Right, go back to Samaria and say it one more time. Elites.
Elites.
Elites. And now
like Canaanite, Hittite, just another ite, basically. It's just the
and
way
now they're squeezing out the middle class. And
what
then now they're
class?
bringing in life extension for the people that have the means.
But there's got to be a way we can, at some point, if someone's playing us like a Sims, how can we communicate with the operator to go, get me out of this game? Come on. Controller, I want out. Like in what was that movie with Gerard Butler where he was in a video game and he did talk to the controller. And the controller kind of worked with him to get him out of the game.
And we know free will still matters. It does. Because
I remember someone at the Ohio class asked Sabrina that same question, that if she said something to the controllers, they'd give them like 2 days off and it'd go away. But then obviously it comes back.
So there's a name for that. I found out after the fact, Mac. It's called an AI chaperone. You can Google that. And they use them at the Department of War, previously the Department of Defense and everywhere else, where you can ask the AI and then it'll take that message to the person at the keyboard to make the adjustment in machine learning. Pretty old. It's been around since at least 2010. Fairly well known, but yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It doesn't mean it'll do that every time, but voice command has been around since the 70s and the 60s as well. That's why I don't believe in neurolinguistic programming, because they used it with natural language processing. just, promising people that they could bullshit other people to death while they were testing load balancing bands, calling it remote viewing with coordinates. That's geospatial.
Did I hear gunshots?
Maybe.
I'm thinking it's fireworks in my background.
Fireworks.
Oh yeah, fireworks.
Sure,
People
sure,
are
sure.
still celebrating.
All right, the resistance has begun, and we will fight it. What the fuck? Just joking. But yes, the remote control, clicky. That's where I was kind of going with this, and kind of led into it, where they have remote control over us. I wish I'd like to tell everybody, Mary, I'd love to have a little more of the hopium that I used to have.
Right.
That we have the ability to fight back. We have spiritual abilities, and God can do whatever God wants. You never know what's going to happen as far as that goes. We've been told things to look for and be concerned about in the sense of like guard your heart, guard your mind, and have discernment. But I don't know, man. It's like we can't get enough people to wake up. I'm encouraged to see someone that's 19 years old in here, and we get some of the younger crowd in here. That would be great. That would really help.
Free will does make a difference, doesn't it, Sabrina?
Oh, yeah.
Like we talked about. Yes. Your choice, your thoughts, your intention, that makes a big difference.
Well, intention is a word I'm really becoming to loathe. I really don't like it because it's been hijacked. But jumping genes, alu receptors, and the whole point of a remnant DNA controls, their beloved tests. And the whole point is that there's always a subset of cells. Okay.
Right.
You don't believe in DNA or whatever. A remnant of cells that will not adhere to all of their different synthetic biology. It happens in plants, it happens in animals, and it happens in...
I think also when you talk about that is like, what is the solution? And it's like, okay, so I say a command and now I'm out of the system. You are here, you are in this realm, in this planet, whatever, and you always are fighting. That's your will, your power. You're always fighting this. Maybe you do a command in a couple of days, you are more, I don't know, free. But then it's a scam because then maybe you will have the third day and you're more sick. You are on the ground. So I think is for me it reached a spiritual point. But I know that people, oh my God. But
this goes to what I said at the beginning about people are all worked up going, well, humans want to be more than they are. And I'm sitting here going, no.
I just want to be maybe.
We want you out from between us and our environment so we can do what we want to do. And that's the acknowledgement component when people talk about waking up. I'm like, how about acknowledge what's sitting right here? Well, but that's part of, no. I don't need a ghost story and a fear factor to talk about this surveillance under the skin. And that's why I keep saying that when we talk about God coming in, what is he going to do? Force us to tell each other what our children are going to school for? Are you kidding me? Jesus, I need you to come down here and spank our bottom because we can't have an MK Ultra hearing that says W-ban like it does in the Congressional Archives. Oh, no. We need Jesus to read. That's where we're at.
They want that so bad.
It really is. Sorry.
I was just going to show this really quick. Can they direct pain to disrupt us?
Well, pain receptors are your nervous system messages. So if your nervous system messages get all conflagrated, you are disrupted.
Right. And so there's targeted individuals, which is all of us. And some of us are more sensitive. And then you got all these new technologies coming in. Biscuits and I were talking about this.
They're not sensitive. They're strong because they can still feel their nerves. Yeah.
All right. Say what you want. Sometimes I feel like a wuss and I have to watch the movie 300 to make myself feel like a badass again. But yes, and I have lots of anxiety, and I've seen your videos where you're like, that means you can feel yourself in more. I was like, I don't want to feel it anymore. So anyways, you can look at it however you want. But yes, a lot of this stuff is coming in. I mean, there's frequencies going on all the time, and now there's even more than there ever has been.
And the fear also always, all the time, it will disrupt you all the time.
Which is that's the mainstream media. That's a lot of the alternative media. That's the algorithms pushing fear. That's the narratives that we see popping up all the time.
Badgering,
Charley,
bullying, name calling, ostracizing, isolating.
Yep. And Charley covered that a lot in the last series that we did on the mycelial networks, EMFs, fungi, and all the stuff that's coming in with the mold and the various things that are also being affected by this.
And yet, here we are. and yet
yes,
you are.
Right, we're here. We're having the discussions. This is the most important thing. Getting back to the kind of like the He-Man stuff and whatnot. What do you think about the occultic stuff, though, when it comes to like the ram's horn, the way they sexualize a lot of these characters? Now it's a little bit different. So now they're rebranding He-Man in the sense that, like I said, he was at a desk job.
50 years later.
Right. He's he, him, Adam again. And then he becomes this, strong character that's stronger than, he's like a god or whatever, that plays on, I think Charley put it, a lot of the new age talk is that you can become your own god. And I see that a lot in the comments. And I try not to like be an asshole to people or whatnot. And I have my belief. People are free to have their beliefs. But so many people believe that Jesus was here to teach us Christ consciousness so that we could be gods. We could be our own gods. And I'm like, nah, I mean, if that's what he really did, then I don't want nothing to do with that. Because that's dangerous. That's ego play. And I messed with a lot of that when I was stuck in my addiction. And if I feed that, I need something. I need somebody outside myself to save me, because I've already been in that situation many times, and I can't do it myself. I need a group of people maybe that's stronger than myself. But yes, always. So anyway, is it for all gods? Then we're still all going to be just competing. I don't know what the difference is. Other than,
Exactly.
Hey,
but
Booma,
we're like,
wait a minute. I think I've heard about what you're talking about. We'll all be gods. It's in the market share and the Agenda 2030 thing. Everybody going to live forever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
right.
The technocracy, and that's what I'm saying, is that they set those toys up and they recycle them so that every generation gets that same thought, not realizing they have any special gifts at all as a human being.
And you're not allowed to talk about them. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that reason, they automatically go into life assuming they need to be something more.
No, I
always something more.
If the only place that you can learn to use these abilities is with the demon skulls, the candles, witches, robes, secrecy.
That too. Yes.
That's it. I mean, you can't go to church and talk about anything to do with your physiology. They'll throw you out with the demon horns and all that.
That's true.
Just saying.
And the original temptation was the promise from the serpent in the garden that they would be as gods.
Truth. It hasn't changed much, has it, Charley?
I call it graphene.
But when you see also in the mythology, you're going to go what we have a lot of gods, and then you have, I don't know if demigods, the ones that Hercules. I don't know if it was. So it's always the same fucking stories.
Yeah, the
always
demigods are lower on the SCADA system.
Or maybe that's English, just please.
Well, and then if they pump this certain thing as a child and then you become 30 years old, let's say 20, 30 years old, and all of a sudden they're like, you can actually do this.
Yeah.
You can actually be like this. It's almost like your childhood hero dream coming true.
Right.
So it must be very enticing to them.
That's why it's very interesting to me how far apart it's been since the 80s to now. So like those toys came out. The human augmentation's been going very hardcore since at least 2010. Okay, so looking back at that would make about sense. That would mean those kids born around that time, 40-somethings, were never thought to appreciate their own humanity, who they are, their own individuality. That looks like the perfect dream come true. They're also at a time in their life when sorry, you guys, when the natural body starts breaking down.
Right.
So,
right.
Oh man. Go ahead. Sorry.
it's fine. But no, I thought about that. When about 40 years old is when your body starts having a few more creaks and a few more, pains, things like that. Sorry, you guys, people coming and going. The dogs think they need to guard them. Hey, people.
What's up?
This would be Erica. This would be the younger daughter who's dropping some children off.
Yeah.
Say hi to thousands of people.
This is Booma and Sabrina and Heather and Lucia and Charley and Mary and Abby and Mac.
Yep, just so you know, this is live going all over the world.
She's very shy. Can't you tell? She's shy like that.
I just hope she knows it's not a private Zoom. We're actually live with people. So if you're cool with that, then it's all good. It wasn't on me. Okay. Good.
I'm the outgoing one.
Oh, well, yeah. If you came from Crystal, I can see that. All right. Abbey, I'd like to hear a little more of your take on this stuff.
Which part?
Well, I mean, you were talking. What was it? Genesis 13 something.
3:15. I was just talking about
3:15.
the seed because we're dealing with entities. I don't elementals. I don't know what you want to call them. But these things are real. Like, man, there are people walking around that don't have a soul. They're not people in the sense that they're people. They look like us. But the seed is where it starts, right? That's my take on Genesis 3:15. If we have to look all the way back to the seed, look at how we're created. Like the womb, the artificial wombs. How did they even? Are they using physics to manipulate? Like, okay, we're all electrical, right? Each person's heart is a DNA signature, right? Like your heart is the only heart that makes that frequency, your DNA.
Do you think of like the fallen angels and the Nephilim and the influence of demonic forces and those kinds of things when you talk about this stuff?
Absolutely. I think it's real because I had experiences that I can't explain. Not rationally, anyway. For instance, I had been learning to meditate for approximately about 3 years, and to the point where I got out of my body. But I didn't get to enjoy that for very long because I got pulled back into my body. Like I had no control over that. I had the spiritual part of me didn't have any control. I got snatched back into my own body. Like, how are we supposed to, the reason I'm following Sabrina is because she knows how to work hers. I don't ever want that to happen again.
What did you do that you think that happened for you think there's a certain reason that you know?
When I got pulled back in my body, Jesus said, you ain't spiritually protected there. Like I know I didn't see him or anything. I just know that's what it was. I don't know how to explain it.
Right. When I went through a lot of my addictions and stuff, I felt like I experienced a lot of the demonic.
It's an instant knowing. You don't have to see him.
Hang on one second, guys. Somebody's knocking on my door.
It's all good.
Hey, Booma. I'm sorry to tell you, I've only got about 10 minutes left, just so you know.
Don't lie to me. That's rude. Well, what do you want to talk about then with 10 minutes left?
Sabrina, I have a question.
I'm to Abbey because I've heard her tell that story in person. It's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Get back to that when she
Thank you, Crystal, for my backup. Yeah, it's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. It is. It was one of the reasons I was like, you need to be part of our group. You need to be in here. You need to talk about it. I have a question, Sabrina. I know that Abbey had stumbled upon some research of some things that they're doing as far as human augmentation, even with sex genes, even before birth. She was talking about that they use hormones to change a patient from being a boy to a girl, so that they will have both boy and girl inside the body when they're born. And I was wondering, did you in your life, things you've come across, have you ever seen that happen to people to where it was used that way, or in the research that you've researched?
All I know for certain is that they have those options and that they've gone past that. Those options were totally crisscrossed as far as dot your I's, cross your T's. Late 60s, and then in the 70s, automation.
All the way back to the 60s. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because the Onyx data sets date back to Bell Labs in the 30s with Caltech and them. And then further back into the late 1800s with the changes to the census. And then 1910, get rid of everybody's fee-fees, put their asses on those supercomputers. Here we are.
Do you think that's the reason they started doing the U.S. Census? Just wondering.
Some people do.
I've thought about that.
Yeah, a lot
Definitely
of
a great way to trap certain genetics in
Crystal,
certain
you
regions.
know, they never do anything for one reason. You say that.
True.
This is the kind of stuff when you cite these kind of the papers and the various things that they've done throughout the timeline that you always quote. 2014, 19, whatever, 95. They did all the different times that you bring up certain dates and certain markers of when they release certain technologies, certain things into the public, and they just
well, it's pretty important because they keep presenting it like, oh my God, it just got here. Oh, look what
right.
happened.
Well, what I was going to say is I want that information so we can put it in the wiki.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes, there's going to be a whole section when I finally I'm going to have to go and I'm literally going to have to work with Firewall and be like, bro, we're putting her in a room and we're going to get all the information before we come out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I already have from
You can call it what you want. We need that information, Sabrina. The world needs it.
No, hang on. When I was sitting there for Chris's presentation at Confluence, and I already did a bunch of legwork for his, and then the film festival people and all that stuff going on. Anyways, he needed more for a different layer that people could click on. So I got all that on deck, ready to go. I already submitted that. So you can have that and whatever else you want.
Yeah, I want all the documentation, all the paperwork so that we can put it together and we have it in the wiki, because that's one thing that we want to add to it is all
Can
this
you wait a few
information.
weeks? I'm kind of busy partying with the band. I can't guarantee anything. I'm so busy right now with all the party favors and banners and planning out the potlucks, and the band is getting together to actually sing at the jamboree and equipment. And Booma, I swear we ought to just kidnap you and drag you down there.
All right, and then I'll just be like by your side. Okay, what date was this, and what was the documentation? And then I'll text it to Biscuits to add it to the wiki. And like, oh, okay, what in between your classes? Well, we're having a little smoke break and all that kind of stuff. Okay, what about this? Well, and everybody's gonna be like
between South and North Carolina, because Chris will be there, so I can get back to you then. Make sure that Gigi Co has all the cool stuff.
Well, we're going to take Chris's whole well, this is just my idea. Biscuits hasn't said anything, but I'm going to take all of the transcript of Chris's documentary. I think he said documentary. He's going to have two of them. It's not just one, right? He's got two now. So I want both documentaries. I'm going to take both transcripts and rip through those and get some documentation, all that kind of stuff. We want to add it to the wiki. We want to add all this information and make it so accessible to people. Because I share a lot of your work. You're getting ready to go to classes. You're going to share stuff with me that I'll probably get Booma exclusives of various things because you'll be on the road. You're not near your computer. And so more Sabrina Wallace has come into the D-Mind of Booma channels. But I want to get this information and make it as easily accessible to people. You've done the presentations. You've got whiteboards behind you. You've talked people through it. And now you do various videos, whether it's a teaching video that's a longer form or one where you're just talking to the camera. You've done all this work. So now let's find a way to compile it into this thing that Biscuits has going on. He's got a really cool pipeline, and we'll get this information out there so people can look it up. And I'm looking forward to it. But yes, have fun partying while I'm trying to save the world, Sabrina.
I hope you realize you're talking to everybody. Everybody that's been in our Telegram, it's just like a buzz right now because everybody's getting ready for where we all going. Plus, Dawn over there on the Facebook, like I said, we hit capacity, and I'm going, Dawn, you and them 40,000 people or whatever you doing over there, they're just as excited to see her. You know what I mean? It's a lot like one thing someone commented on from the Ohio class before I go. We're very loose with how we go through the exercises so that people have time to actually communicate. That is where the real learning is happening. It's the band. People having a chance to really dig in around people. They don't have to repeat themselves. There's no conflict. You're not being yelled at, shamed. All that is removed. And then the learning is accelerated. I had a lot of people say, Sabrina, when I watch you on video, and I know I get it, but for some reason, when I was sitting in the room, it was instant. And they've been watching me for a year. Right. So it's a combination of allowing people to move as they need to and kind of keeping folks moving. But any of you that attend the classes, you're going to find that you're going to have so much fun getting out of it, whatever you put into it, because it really is all about you. It is about the band. And it's just, I can't wait to be at the Jamboree. Oh my gosh, it's going to be great.
Right. And I'm obviously just joking because like I'm not like a real social person. Like it's interesting that I ended up doing this stuff and it feeds into my addiction and anxieties and stuff like that, social lubricant in order to be around people. But when I went to the class and I was pretty nervous about it. And again, I'm thankful for Firewall helping me out and getting me there and back. But when I got there and after the experience, during the experience, I was just overwhelmed. There were times it brought me to tears, happy tears. And now thinking about it still, I get goosebumps. I just smile, and I'm so thankful that I got to experience that because it put some pieces together. I talked to people in person. I didn't realize maybe some of the impact that even like I was having on people, but then to see Sabrina actually teaching people in a group real time and experiencing that, I was like, oh, Carlton showed up the second day, and if people know Carlton from the group, and he shows up every once in a while, he's a cool dude. I was like, she's the real deal, bro. And we all agree, man. It's just like, it was just authenticity. Like, you don't have to, this isn't like a cult thing or anything like that. This is authentic person doing the best a person absolutely can in order to teach people something that they have not, that's been withheld from us, as you say, perhaps over 100 years or so.
But everybody already knows too. That's why dodgeball is so fun. Because once you get to the end on Saturday and everybody's really excited to go out and do their thing, we do the dodgeball to remind you that's your nervous system. It's yours. Yeah, Valeda was great. Oh my gosh, she is amazing. We had so much fun. We really did. And we do. But it's about you. Everybody should learn this because even when we talk about, hey,
Carlton's here.
Even when we talk about the technical and people are like, man, I don't want to have to learn all that. You don't need to. You just need to be able to be around people where you can ask questions and experiment. Everybody by Saturday night, even the people on Friday that are like, I don't feel anything. Wait, what? By Saturday, because the exercises are all different, they're like, oh, I know what that is, or I know what that feeling is. And then they're just all excited to go home and talk about it, try it out, and do their thing.
I also want to say real quick before you go this, that you gave, I found it in the conference room the next morning.
Yep.
Oh, the technical PDF. Yes.
Well, hold on, that and this. The crystallography.
Well, it's not new, but crystal symmetry is for our land healing. Yeah, because the metamaterial and such. Yep.
The fact that I was able to bring this home and show my family, my daughter wants to come to Alabama.
Oh,
yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
I'm hoping that we get to go. Dude, if I gotta walk or hitchhike, I don't want to miss it.
Lots of families and partners, husband, wife, children. Yes, and children are welcome. It was, but I preferably for the adult class, 14 and up is done very well.
Yeah, she's 16, gonna be 16.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's why it's important because I think she started to believe me. I was showing her this, and she understands some of the terminology, but not the way I understand it. We got to get a hold of these kids.
Yeah, and that's why having normies at the classes has been great because the normies they've never seen me before. They have no idea. By the time they leave, they're like, this is great. Check it out. Look, I can do it too. And when everybody gets into the boot, scoot, and boogie, the normies are kind of standing there looking around. But we as the band, I'm like, all right, everybody, pilo erection. And then all these people, think about it, 50 people. We had about 10 normies. They're standing between 40 other people and all their hair standing on end. They go, well, I want to do that. How'd you do that?
Yeah, if you can get there, and if
anybody wants to make a T-shirt that says "I see your pilo erection," that'd be cool.
That is a good one. It's a talking
Julie
point for
Firewall
sure.
noted, Abbey.
Yep, Firewall
All right,
beyond
everybody,
that.
I'm out. Blessings to you, Mark 536. Amen. Take care of each other. I'll see
Thank
you on the
you.
road, band.
Bye, Sabrina. Thanks for
Great
coming.
deal. Safe travel. Have fun.
Boom.
Sabrina.
All right, so I wanted to get Abbey. We didn't get to your whole story because you had somebody show up, and then Sabrina, when you were gone, said that she got to hear your story at one of the classes, or at the class, I guess, that you were at. If you want to tell a little bit more about that, that'd be awesome.
After I got yanked back into my body, for about a week, I'd been praying. Like, I guess I call it praying, but I was like mad. I'm like, if that was really you, show yourself, do it again, because I didn't want to think I was nuts. Okay. My family's already got me convinced and batshit. So I got this happening to me. What's up? So for a whole week, I'm kind of like, show yourself, show yourself. I go to pick my daughter up from her dad's on Sunday, and I had been driving. It's a 2-hour drive. I sat there and talked to him for probably a half hour. We drove back. I never even shut the car off. The car had been running like 3 hours. Okay. As I'm crossing State Route 33, I get cut off by a blue Dodge Challenger. Well, I'm apparently a good driver because I kept it from happening, but my daughter had her phone out, so I'm like, get a picture of that license plate because he just cut me off. As soon as I crossed over State Route 33, my car blew up. Like smoke and flames flying out the hood. So I hurry up and pull over. And I'm so mad at this point. I'm like, give me that license plate. I'm going to call and turn it in. So she hands me her phone. And the license plate said Lucifer. Right? And when I physically saw the license plate, it was like, I don't know if it was audible because I don't think my daughter heard it. But it said, this is what happens when I take my protection away. Like, I've had a couple things. Another thing was like the globe. I'm like, I can't walk around telling Christians that the earth is flat without proof. I ain't got no rockets. And this went on for months because I didn't want to believe the earth was flat, which it's only flat in the sense of the 2 and 3D realms, right? It actually is a sphere because it's a toroid, right? We live in a quantum realm, though. It's both. But I think the flat earth is I personally think it's a salvation issue. He tells us on page fucking 1. On page 1.
You just
on page 1.
You just caused so much controversy there in that short amount of time.
Listen, again, I believe it's both because we live in a quantum realm, but the part that we physically live on is flat and enclosed. There is a firmament. The father of NASA has Psalm 19:1 on his tombstone. And that says the firmament declares the handiwork of God. He spent the whole fucking second day on it. Are we really going to throw it out? It took the entire second day for the firmament. It's the only thing he created on the second day. If you do not believe the word of God, right? If you do not believe the word of God, you do not believe the truth. And he tells us in over 200 scriptures what this place is like, what it is physically. Look at the way the ancient Hebrews depicted it.
Who was the father of NASA?
Werner von Braun and Jack Parsons.
Which one has that on their tomb?
Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist from Paperclip.
Wow. That's
as his tombstone says, it says the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Now he's the father of NASA. If he wasn't trying to make a statement, why would he put the only verse that really like speaks out in the Psalms about the firmament?
All of your globalists use a flat earth map for a logo. What's the United Nations logo? Right?
Flat earth.
Globe. What's the globe model called? The heliocentric model. It's always in the words. The heliocentric model. It's always in the words. Religion. Re means over and over. Legion is demons, right? So you got demons over and over. Legion.
Yeah, I'm going to have you on with JK. You've watched some of those shows, right?
Who's JK? I don't think so. I've been digging into your YouTube for the whole day.
Abbey JK runs the Truth, and Odyssey, and YouTube, and all over the place.
Yeah, I've had JK on, and I haven't allowed him. He said that if we really want to get into flat Earth, he needs 6 hours at least. And I was like, yeah, no, bro, I'm not ready for that one. And I don't really.
He doesn't. It's the easiest one to prove. Because I prayed about it. Listen, I prayed about it. There's over 200 experiments you can do to prove this place. It's a fact.
Right,
it's not a theory.
But you also said it's both, right?
Well, in the sense that the Earth is a toroid.
It's dimensional. So, like from in here, it's all perspective.
Dimensions are information. Everything in this realm is information. It's what DNA is.
All right. I don't want to get too deep into this conversation because I think it takes away a little bit from the human augmentation part of it. But when you say it's both, let me just get this, I guess, clarification. Maybe I'll be opening a can of worms. But are you saying that everybody exists on a flat plane in the sense that we're on a top of a flat plane and then below the plane, there is no one?
Look at the depictions of Earth throughout history, all the way back to the Sumerians. Look at every single culture's depiction of the Earth. Just look at it, because you get basically the Egyptians, it's got a person as the firmament, right?
Right.
Just look up the depiction of every culture. Every culture knew it was flat and enclosed. We live in a quantum realm. If we live in a fucking
It's
terrarium,
quantum.
we were created.
That's the key word right there, Abby. It's quantum.
It is quantum.
That's the truth. Because of that, it's not, perspective may show you, if you're out there looking
Perspective,
in
it's
somehow,
flat.
it may look spherical, but our perspective, it's flat, period.
Absolutely it is. I wear a shirt that says the Earth is flat, prove me wrong, and nobody's ever. I'll tell you this. Let me ask you this, without Googling these answers, okay? How far away do they tell us the sun is?
666 something. I know it's 600.
No,
miles.
it's 93 million miles away, right? Well, if that's the case, then why the fuck is space dark, but the Earth is lit up? Okay, what do they tell us the sun is? It's fire, right?
Go ahead, Charley.
If it's in a vacuum, how can it be fire?
Oh, they did say 93 million? I was thinking something else.
Hold on. Okay, how far away is the moon?
I know, but this is just stuff they could just
238,000. Okay.
They could just say this.
What's the circumference of Earth?
Right.
25,901 miles, right? Okay.
Right. And I agree with
most people cannot answer those three questions. Why would you defend something you can't answer three questions about?
I like some of the stuff that Biscuit was saying. The Egyptians worshipped Nephilim, and some of these other cultures worship the Nephilim. So why should we trust them either or two?
Yeah, well, I don't trust them, but I'll tell you
how they
depicted.
depicted
In Newport, and you can see Catalina Island 22 miles away. Now, if the perspective they tell us of the globe was correct, I would not be seeing Catalina Island. It would be below the horizon.
Even according to
in
Earth
Newport Beach, you
curvature.
look at the entire island. It would not work if their curvature formula was correct. That's the only thing I know.
Right.
I just wonder why all the flat Earth, and I don't have an opinion either way personally, but why the flat Earth stuff is so focused on as a salvation issue, because if it was, I feel like it would have been more prominently spoken of by Jesus. I think,
right.
I'm love God, love your neighbor. I mean,
I don't consider it a salvation issue.
Yeah.
Right. But it's because
I believe for somebody who doesn't believe, who figures out that there's definitely some things that are wrong with their formulas, okay?
Right.
Then it does make it more, human-centric, earth-centric, and that can actually help bring them closer to God. I do believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all looking to understand it better. At the very least, we're all earnestly trying to gain access to the truth and not be led astray or deceived.
We want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Because they've lied about everything, Charlie. So.
Right. Well, I'm open to the discussion. It's not a salvation issue.
It is for me. It is a salvation issue for me, because I prayed about it. Just like the tribulation. I can't tell anybody about the pre-post, but I can't tell you this. I can tell you what I was told. The Holy Spirit told me to study Matthew 24:29. And that says immediately after the tribulation of those days. I don't think it gets more clear than that.
That's what God told me too. Absolutely. When I prayed about it.
So, I mean, it's when I say it's a salvation issue, I don't mean for everybody. I say for me, because I started reading the Bible and immediately became a flat earther, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. So God intervened, right?
Right.
I'm doing a show one night. It was right after COVID and everything. We had just opened up. I worked in a restaurant. We had just opened up for the first time in months, right? So a buddy of mine who works for NASA had come into town, right? So I'm taking care of him the whole night. He's telling me about how he got to be in the Mars, the command room for the Mars rover landing and all that. And I'm laughing in my head because he has no idea that I'm studying flat Earth, right? No clue. Well, At the end of the conversation, he hands me his credit card, and his card was all red. It said the Satanic Club with a Baphomet right in the middle of it. And it struck me so stupid because I would have never guessed that this dude I've known my whole life was a Luciferian. Would have never guessed. Okay. He hands me the card, and it shocked me so much that I run up to my boss and I'm like, you got to take care of this because I have a feeling like I need to go pray. I run back to the kitchen. I hit my knees. And when I said, was that your way of showing me that the globe is Satan's lie? He said, are you going to believe my word now? So for me, it is absolutely a salvation issue. It was my entire paradigm shift. It's the lie that breaks the spell. If you understand that they've convinced people they're monkeys on a damn ball.
I think that's a really
true. I
interesting
agree with that part.
It's the lie that breaks the spell, because I hear what you're saying, and maybe, like you said, it was your salvation. It's the lie that brought you out of Plato's proverbial cave, right, and into the light.
Right.
Absolutely. And it was the one that made me realize that I do have a creator. And then when he showed me the whole, the light, the zinc burst in the egg when the sperm fertilizes it. I mean, we're literally referred to as seeds and trees all through the Bible.
Right.
Turn your brain with its brainstem upside down and it looks like a seed sprouting.
Yeah. Oh, that kind of stuff is beautiful, isn't it?
It absolutely does.
He's in our DNA. YHWH means behold hand, behold nail. YHWH is ACTG. It's in your genetics. 10565 in Hebrew, right? 10565. But the shot changes it to 1056665.
Truth.
There's a component to the shot called Lucifer race. Again, it's always in the words. Walmart. You ever hear the theory that Walmarts are FEMA camps? They're going to be re-educating conservatives in the FEMA camps that were once Walmarts. What's Walmart inverted? It's Mart law.
Right. Charlie shared a good depiction of that we've shown on the screen. Walton being a guy that worked for the military that created stuff like that, right? Camps, bases for POWs. Something like that.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's still available online, I don't know, but I had seen it at one point, and sometimes they erase and change shit. That's why the wiki that GGCo has, that Biscuits is built, is going to be so important, because I think they're going to start changing some more shit here
Also,
very soon.
deviation of martial law when you do it backwards.
Yeah.
So are there people that are walking on the top of this flat Earth? But
No.
underneath?
Again, it's quantum. It's water up there above the firmament.
It's quantum. That's the difference.
It's water. You understand these data centers are going to use up all the water and make the water bitter, right? But what do you think they're going to do when the data centers don't have any water because they've depleted it, right? They're going to start using human bodies, which are 70% water. People have no idea what's coming. It's the Matrix without the plugs. People's 5D ascensions, you're going to be uploaded into a fucking computer cloud. And guess what? People are going to want to, because they're little avatars that they've created to present themselves in this online world. They can be anything they want to be, like fucking furries and shit.
Yep.
There's a whole push. Look at, okay, it's always in the words. Write down the words Pride Month, right? What's the very middle word? Something that also refers to themselves as they, them. Demon, by the way, if you didn't figure it out, is the middle word in Pride Month. It's so in our fucking face, we can't see it. Again, your globalists are looking for a global currency and a global religion. What if there's no globe?
Some of it could be word games. I don't know.
It is word games. It's word magic. That's what they use. The neurolinguistic that Sabrina doesn't believe in, there's a reason she doesn't believe it, because it's not real. The English language is a spell casting language. That's why we call it spelling.
Yep.
I can't wait to play Pedesteroids, bro. I'm looking forward to it. No idea what exactly you're going to create with it, but I'm looking forward to it, whatever it is. Zane, I see you've entered the picture. Do you have something to say, sir?
I don't. I just saw that there was, the number of people had dwindled down a little bit, so I thought I'd, slide in and
Show your
Bullshit.
beautiful
That's
face and pull some
insane.
more people in with your sexiness. I like it. I like it.
He saw the
I don't want to talk about.
testosterone
I don't want to
ratio.
talk about the flat Earth shit anymore. Not that it's shit. I'm just saying this stuff is like drives me fucking insane. 'cause-
It's very divisive.
yes, because I don't understand if it's flat, then why is there not people on the bottom of the flatness?
It's
and if there's-
both. It's both.
Well, then it's not flat. It's both.
But it is, okay? Because what's your
It's
perspective?
so fucking ridiculous. Like,
What's your perspective? Your perspective is your brain's interpretation of light.
Booma, I have a question for you. If you had a 3D person and they stepped through a 2-dimensional plane, it would look like your finger poking through a piece of paper. Okay. So what we're saying is when it's quantum, it's what dimension are we all on? We are all 3D people with a 4th dimension of time. Okay.
But there's also a micro, right? That's like the little creatures that are running across your skin right now.
Absolutely.
We can't see it with our eyes, but we have technology now that lets us. Look at they banned or took off the market the Nikon P100 or
They
1000
sure did.
because they called it the globe killer. All these ships that were going over the horizon could be brought right back into view.
They did quit selling it.
There are literal experiments out there that are being done daily. It's the easiest one to prove.
You know,
like look
you're
into
right.
Rob Skiba. Don't take my word for it. Look into people who are actually out there doing the research.
Yeah.
Because again, we got one guy, flat Earth millionaire. Now we do have money to fund some of these things.
And they make
Because
some
again, we don't get $60
Sure.
million a day from NASA.
Yeah.
Zane,
Did you know that the silhouette
Hold up,
of
Abbey.
Disney
Hold up,
dog
Abbey.
Pluto?
Hold up, please. Zane's trying to say something.
So I think they made some interesting points. You're right, but on some level, like this ties back into the He-Man Nephilim discussion, because all of that is in the Book of Enoch in general it's salacious information. It's like the 66 books that make up the kind of colloquial Bible go out of their way not to tell you how anything works. I mean, even Jesus said, I told you earthly things and you didn't understand them. How then can I trust you with heavenly things? And it's like, it seems that all of this is in some level the weeds that get us lost.
It tempts you into identity.
Right.
People are really lured by the opportunity to identify as special or, and so He-Man helped little boys, She-Ra, little girls want to be, So, there's an element of luring that's being done, it feels, by the pushing of the Nephilim, Enoch, and Dead Sea Scrolls, all the narratives that, like Sabrina was saying, just make you feel like, you got a little more information than everybody else now. So,
right.
And
that's
that
what the
access,
mystery schools do too. Exactly.
Right.
They tell people, "Oh, we know more than you do," and it's
Yeah.
something hidden that nobody else has. But the truth of the matter is, it's just information.
Yeah, and ultimately, like when you talk about scripture, it's like Jesus. He said, "Love the Lord your God with all your whole heart, strength, mind, and spirit. Love your neighbor as yourself."
Love your neighbor as yourself.
He didn't say, "And you have to admit that the earth is flat," or "And you have to admit that there were Nephilim making human hybrids in the," like none of that. That was not necessary. I think that's why the Bible, at least especially the New Testament, pares it down really, really narrowly and just says, "Look, if you get lost in those arguments and those conversations about, how did it happen, you'll miss the fact that what you're really supposed to do is go out and make disciples of all nations, to love your neighbor as yourself, etc."
And they want you to miss it and that's why, you can look at the Gaia Network, you can look at the History Channel. They're talking about the Nephilim. They want us in these weeds, identifying, being our own He-Man and She-Ras.
And even when people changed it to something biblical, one thing that I've seen is they always try to run it back to something else, like aliens. It has to be aliens. It's something else. Anything so that they can say they're your progenitors. Now, I had a different situation than Abbey, but I also had a situation where the Lord told me in 2013 that there were human hybrids here. I was not looking for that information. That was something that happened to me in prayer. And then I was told to watch out for it. And then as things started changing in medicine, the Lord was like, look here, pay attention to that. So for me, it was something I was supposed to pay attention to, because I was supposed to warn other people that this was going to be a thing, that your identity as a human was going to come into the picture. Okay. That's my own revelation. Not everybody has that. Okay. Just like other people have other revelations, things that brought them closer to the Lord. That was something the Lord showed me in black and white. And the same thing, I prayed about the tribulation. I prayed about the timing of his return. And I was led to the exact same verse in Matthew 24 and also in Luke 21 that Abbey talked about. Same exact one. Now, did that mean everybody's going to be here? I don't know. I have questions about that, because I feel like the Church of Philadelphia is also told they would be saved from the testing that will come upon the whole earth. But at that same time, I know there's a lot of believers, including me, that I don't feel that I am in the Church of Philadelphia. I don't think there's very many of us that are, to be honest. And for that reason, I believe there'll be a lot of believers that are here for different reasons, for the Lord's reason and purpose, that we have no control over, because that's up to him, not us. But I do believe that the Nephilim agenda is important. And I believe that the reason it's come back out in this time is because God knew what they'd be doing in science. He knew what they'd be doing to the genetics, and he knew how it would play into the biometric, biodigital convergence that will be used to entrap all of mankind, either through medicine, because they're dependent on it and they need it. And will they trust him more? That's a big question. Okay. And I come because my daughter's got an AICD pacemaker, my oldest does, in her chest, has had 3 open heart surgeries, and has a mechanical valve. Science has kept her alive. Can you imagine what she thinks when her crazy Bible thumping mom comes at her and tries to tell her, this is what's going on and you need to be paying attention. This is more than Sunday school when you were a little girl, right? So I get it. And I agree, Zane, with you on the fact that, is it a salvation issue? Unless it's something God pointed out to you in your direct revelation with him, which I believe. That's why the Bible says, if you feel convicted about something, for you, it's a sin. If you do not feel convicted about something, for you, it's not a sin, right? Same thing. It would be a sin for Abbey, with what God's shown her in her perspective with him, to deny it. Okay. But at the same time, if God hasn't opened your eyes to that, then it's not a salvation issue for you. That's the way I interpret it. Who am I but a little peon? Okay. But that's the way I look at it. Just like if I was ignoring the whole genetic thing when I'm a nurse and I'm trying my very best to untether patients from the system, teach them natural ways, teach them they have alternatives, teach them they can take control over their own health, because the time is coming when it will come down to, is that pill in your pocket more important? Then you're in trouble. Is that dollar bill in your pocket more important? You are, again, in trouble. Okay. For that reason, I feel like I'm screaming from the rooftops to get people to say, all of it is Babylon. All of it. If we don't come to Jesus, Jesus Christ alone. Sorry, Booma. That's where I stand. You know that. So put it out there.
And what are you apologizing for?
Because I don't know, people don't believe that way, and that's okay for them. But I'm telling you, that is what I believe with all my heart, all my soul, all my DNA. Okay. Because I've had too many times I should have already been dead. And it was only the Lord himself that saved me, including fighting this system all the way back from 2008, when I got completely attacked in my home and thought it was electronic and demonic and didn't have any clue how those two things went together. It wasn't anything that helped me but Psalms 91 on my knees, period. Okay. So, and that's what helped me. So do I believe also that Jesus is able to hold our DNA together? Absolutely, I do. It literally says in Colossians that he holds all things together, above the earth, under the earth, all of it. Okay. So if that wasn't true, I think we'd already be in trouble when we're being perturbated, beat on, frequency slapped, all of it at one time. So for that reason, I believe that Jesus still holds the final key in that. He makes the choices, but it is in our free will and choice to walk along with this agenda or to stand for what he made us in his image, a human being, proud of being a human being in all that it is, the good, the bad, and the ugly, everything that he made it, that he loved us enough to come down here and experience for himself. so that he can say, you know what? I've been there. I walked through it. I did it. I know what you're going through. Only a God who truly loves us would do that, period. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
All right, soapbox is gone. All right, I appreciate it. And I think it was a salvation thing for you guys, some of you to maybe Abbey or whatever, in a situation like for me, it was like addiction when I finally realized like I couldn't do it myself. I had to give it to something else. That was my salvation transition.
Amen.
But it's not something that not everybody has to go through an addiction or be fallen into rock bottom and then realize that you can't do it yourself, that you need a higher power. Or for me, it was I literally, while I was in jail, felt like Christ came to me. Now, there was no words, there was no talk. It was just a knowing, and it was just a comfort that I hadn't felt. And it was that was bringing me into salvation. But I don't need everybody to go through that experience. I don't think that Jesus needs everybody to believe the earth is flat in order for them to be saved. That is,
I think you'll just need to be humbled.
Right.
That's it.
So
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
Booma,
I
can I
think
ask you a
also that
question?
I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask
I know.
Booma, are you open about your addiction? Like, what were you addicted to, if I might ask? Because I am too.
You're talking
I'm
to
over
me?
it now, but
Me?
what was it?
I've shared a lot about mine in the past, but yeah, I'm totally open about it. I've thought about doing more on it. I just don't know how I do it. But anyways, mostly alcohol. I was addicted to certain prescriptions. I got into opiates
That's
a
why
little
I'm
bit,
asking.
but
That's why
it
I'm
was
asking, because if it was prescriptions, that's what it was for me. And that's almost worse than the heroin addicts who are doing the natural version.
right. And I thought I was
Yeah.
doing something better because it was cleaner, right? I wasn't going to the streets where it was getting cut, and it was
Right.
like coming
Well,
from some unknown source.
I think that pharmakia had to do with the opiate epidemic too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of people almost lost their lives to that. Me being one of them. But I justified it for years because the doctor gave it to me.
So
I have a special
opiates?
hatred for doctors.
So yours was opiates?
Yes.
Have you read the book or seen the series Dope Sick?
No.
That's a good one, and the series is really good too.
Where's it at? What
It
stream?
is really good.
Might be on Hulu, but Michael Keaton plays one of the main characters, and he
I'll look
lost
it up.
a nephew to addiction, and I think he does a phenomenal job playing a doctor when the OxyContin came into play. Anyways, yes, so that's been part of my testimony. Is addiction is what showed me evil, showed me demonic forces, showed me spirits that were not of good nature, and that's kind of what chased me into the arms of Christ. If you know, I'm not afraid of people sharing what their beliefs are boldly. I have no problem with that. I just know also from the other side, having gone to a rehab the first time I tried to get help. Well, I don't know if I was really wanting to get help, but I kind of was, but I kind of wasn't. But the first rehab I went to was a Christian rehab, and I was like, fuck this place. Because I had already been through what I felt was like the church stuff. I'd already been judged. I already tried to give my life to Christ, and I thought it just got worse. Now I know a little bit more why. I was a little immature, obviously, and I wasn't ready to give up my lifestyle. Anyways, like that's, I don't want to get too deep into that, but that's part of my journey was understanding the other side of things. So when people have different faiths or different perspectives, or even an atheist, because I'd never really called myself much of an atheist, but I read a lot of atheist material, and I didn't really believe in God. I got a psychology major. Someone will argue that's a pseudoscience, all that stuff. I'm totally open to these conversations, but I didn't believe in God, didn't even talk about it hardly at all. So when I come from this position, I'm saying that when people bring it hard, like, you know, Crystal and maybe Abbey or something like that, sometimes it turned me off to the point where I would on this channel have turned off this broadcast. Like, fuck this shit. Like, I want it to be something where other people can sit here and feel like they're a part of this discussion, even if they don't agree. That's what I have tried to build this platform now on, even though I don't shy away from sharing my faith. I just don't want it to be the focal point all the time. Because
And y'all know that about me too. I'm totally open to listening to other people, but I'm also just as strong in my own beliefs. I'm not.
Well, I hope I don't come across as a fucking Christian, because that's not what I am.
I know, right? I don't really come off as much of a Christian either, and I don't.
I'm
know
Christ-centric.
if I even believe in
I'm
that.
Christ-centric. That
Because
is
there's
how
like
I
a
will
mainstream
identify.
Christianity that I like rebel against it so fucking hard. Almost everything that I see on TV that is Christian, it just turns me off. I started to like The Chosen, and then what do you know? You find out all kinds of stuff about what the mechanisms behind it are. They sell out to Lionsgate. Mormonism's involved. The guy that plays Jesus is a lover of the Roman Catholic Church and bows down to the Pope and all that stuff. And I'm
Yep,
like,
that was a
oh
really
my gosh.
I was raised Catholic, so just no, please. We are not all bad.
I know, right? No.
No, and there are a lot of good Christian Catholic people that love Jesus very much.
Right. And
Absolutely,
Yeah.
there are. And there are a lot of good Catholic people who don't go along with Rome at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want to say that all this conversation a lot is going to go a lot in the emotional, because the system is strive with division, right?
Yes.
It's like we can't not even having a conversation about anything, because we are already like, I'm going to defend, you're going to attack. It's crazy. But I think it does not matter what you believe in the end of the day, because the system, what it does, it disconnects you from yourself. And you're always outside. You don't feel your emotion. You don't feel your body.
Truth.
You don't know yourself. And if you're not in your body, in yourself, you cannot connect with God. I mean, I believe in Jesus, right? But even with other persons, when we talk about God, they are uncomfortable, because they're very disconnected with themselves. They're very connected outside. Is the doctors, is in whatever authority figure that's outside of them. They don't even trust themselves. So
Amen.
yeah, and then all this stuff, about you are the label, right? The name, you are a conspiracy theorist. Now they are afraid to think critically. They're afraid of making questions. I mean, so you can't. Me, I am an hermit for sure, like 100%. When I talk 2-3 people per year, and they just stare at me, like they are just disconnected. They are afraid of questioning, because also they're afraid of conversation.
Yes.
Right.
That
I agree.
It's interesting that kind of Booma mentioned the Chosen, and it's interesting to bring that back to like kind of the He-Man discussion, just that little bit we watched, that the Hollywood, I don't think they have to tell us what they're doing. I don't believe it. I totally agree with Sabrina about that.
I don't either.
And I think what they're instead doing is they're trying to color the lenses you see everything with, including the Bible, including history, including everything. So like so many people, they think they understand the Bible because they watched The Exorcist and saw, Linda Blair vomiting green pea soup. And so they think they know what demon possession is. And then they watch, Ben-Hur, and they think they understand what the old style was like. And in that way, it's really a control mechanism.
Perception management operation.
Exactly. They show us what they want, what they want us to believe. And you can change the context of any book, including the Bible, by telling people this is what you're going to find. And to me, that is why I shy away. I think, this might be a controversial thing to say in this group, but whatever, where I kind of pull back from the book of Enoch, because it's like, it seems to me that and the book of Jasher both are coloring the way I see the Bible. And it's like, maybe they're not. And I could be totally wrong. Yeah.
To Lucio's point, causes divisiveness.
And that's the whole goal, right? They want you to color everything so that you see it through a divisive lens. Like I can't even have conversations that I know people in my community, because they're a bunch of liberals, would actually agree with, because I can't avoid all the trigger points along the way. I'm going to trigger them, and they're automatically going to go black and white thinking, and I'm the bad guy right away. I see it at work. I can't talk to them about anything, even though I know if we actually got there, you would agree with me.
People
but it doesn't
can't
matter.
think dynamically. They can't. I think that's something that's what Sabrina's talking about, and
that's true.
The dampening of our perception. If we can't live in objective reality, then we cannot discern, and without discernment, we're in big trouble, and we're seeing how that played out. But without objective morality, you can't have, or objective reality, you can't also have objective morality. So everybody's moved out of objective reality And we've got all these surrogate forms of virtue signaling morality that have replaced. So reality has indeed, the paradigm has entirely shifted psychosocially and socioculturally and psychologically for people as we are having our perceptions being affected by these systems that Sabrina discusses. Our perceptions are what need to be called into question. And that's
And
huge.
also they use, movies and TV shows and games, and they use the same name for goddess and stuff like that. And what you're gonna do, your memory is confused. You think you read that in the book, but you saw in the movie. That's fiction.
Truth.
It's not a documentary. It's not right. It's not true, like, whatever true is. So it's more confusion, and I see a lot of people doing that, where they see something in the movie and they're like, yeah. They believe that is like it's true. It's like, well, that's fiction.
I think you kind of see that with 4th of July, like yesterday. Everybody believes, oh my God, we live in this amazing free country. Everything is amazing.
Yes,
You're in the best timeline.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not,
but there was a lot of, I mean, it felt good yesterday, but then the next day they're back to pressing their buttons and they're back to doing the same old shit that they always do. So you see a perfect example of that yesterday. Everybody, and if you question the narrative, you're going against my freedom. If you question that this is the best country ever, then you're the problem. And then you can never talk about
see
it.
the cage. It's because they can't see the cage. I just made a TikTok video on the 3rd the other day when everybody was celebrating. Like, they don't even understand. They don't understand. They're all, everybody, even including me. Like, I know all this. The only reason I'm still going to work is because of the type of work I do. I am watching linemen and fiber crews upgrade this grid for your geofence. Right? The grid we have right now can't sustain it, and this is already deployed. So, like the fiber, they're going from what looks like, I think he called it a 72 or 92 or something, to 432. These wires with fibers in them, glass, it looks like it's fiberglass. It looks like hair. It's
I've seen them do it all
at the speed of light.
All summer. They've been doing it where I live, and you can tell that the bioelectric, everything's changing. Like, people are changing. Your feeling of who you are is changing. You can hear thoughts that that's not you. Like, not to sound crazy, but
you're not crazy. We know
this is amping up, and they're installing this as we speak, and they're way ahead of what people understand. So,
Abbey, what is your job?
I'm a traffic flagger.
Okay.
Did anybody here see the movie Backrooms?
No, I did not.
Okay. I haven't seen a movie in probably 10 years. Right? I don't want to have nothing to do with it, but my kid wanted to go see this movie, and it was at the $5 movie. So I decided I was going to take him. Not 15 minutes into this movie, which, by the way, takes place in a furniture store. The portal that they find is in a furniture store, and it's just other furniture store rooms. Just something's different. It's like a copy of a copy of a copy. Well, between some of these rooms, these back rooms, there's a stop slow paddle. So when it came on the screen, of course, I lost my breath. I was like, what? I was so confused because when I said, I asked my daughter, I said, do you see that? Because I felt like they have the ability to target me, that I would have been the only one to see it. Okay.
Oh.
And my daughter wouldn't answer me, and she still won't answer me. She's like, Mom, you're not crazy. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, so I Google it, right? I'm like, is there a stop slow paddle in this movie? I just watched it, but nobody will they're like, hush, you're not supposed to talk you're not supposed to talk through the movie. I'm like, but I'm asking a question. Like, do you guys see a stop slow paddle? Because I mean, if that's not targeting me, I don't know what is. I hold one every day. Well, I Googled it and it said, no, there's no stop slow paddle. Right. And so my heart fucking sinks. I'm like, Oh, I was like, what happened?
This is some creepy ass shit.
It does go on to say that there's a stop sign throughout the movie, but it was a stop slow paddle. Like what I was seeing was a stop slow paddle. And I really thought that they were targeting me and I was the only person that could see it. It freaked me out.
Yeah, I've noticed stuff like that too, where it's, I know what you're saying. I exactly know what you're saying. I think it's just because they're so far along. We're already digitized that that's possible. I can't explain it technically like Sabrina does, but I know exactly what you mean.
Well, I know
It
it was
reminds
absolutely
me
that
of
movie. That movie's a whole mind bend.
what you just said there, Mac, kind of reminded me of a Black Mirror episode that I saw where they changed their eyes or their brains somehow. So let's say somebody was harassing them, or like this little kid was deathly afraid of dogs. They could program their mind so that when they saw a dog, it would just be a blur. Or when they saw that person that they, or if you had a restraining order against somebody, that
Like
person
white
wouldn't be able to
noise.
see you. When you walk
Like
by, your
static.
face would be all blurred out.
Like
Yeah.
static.
Yeah. That's what I
I
just
think I
thought
know
of
what
when you guys were
episode you're
talking
talking
about
about.
that. Because yeah, you're right. I think they can do that to you. And I suppose, I don't know. I'm just trying to play this out in my mind. The more that you're augmented, the more that they would be able to make you see reality different, make you like somebody who wasn't as augmented might see that switch, but somebody who might have been a little bit more might not have. Kind of a thing. Like we can see different things because of like programming. You're
Yes.
able to be more programmed.
Netflix
So
actually
they could-
talked about a movie, Heather. I can't remember the name of it. It was a couple years ago that they were going to be coming out with a series of movies that would have changing endings depending on who's watching it.
The person,
and I can't remember the name of it.
Or like in the
It's
airports
Banderdash.
where
I think it's Banderdash.
in
That
the
sounds
airports,
right.
The
in the
airports where
they
you can
have
only see your flight and no one
Yeah.
else can see it. How are they doing that?
exactly.
That's
Bandersnatch.
the first thing I thought of. How in the
Yeah.
hell are you going to do that if I'm standing right next to you? Unless you're
But
your eyes are already,
Google's trying to run ads in our dreams.
I'm
Oh
watching
yeah,
it
that's
happen
been
with
going on for a while, actually.
You know what I think of? Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought
I mean,
of
how
too.
are you getting in my dream?
my dreams are always
Right.
fucked up, so it doesn't matter.
Same.
But dude, they're creating apps for everything. Like right now, younger people download these bird watching apps. So when they're outside, they log in and it tells them what birds are in the area. Well, how? Unless they're logging into the birds
I was gonna say the birds
body
work for
area
the
network.
bourgeoisie.
They had to be
Internet of
logging into it.
everything. You put in the internet of everything, which has literally everything, and you put in coordinates, you're going to know everything in that area. It's
know
that simple. It
animals.
would be that simple.
IOA, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, anything that you want, a blade of grass at this location, and you would, it's
crazy what they can do.
that they want that much control. I just think it's ridiculous, but they're trying
They
to
don't want us to have-
synthetically
like,
overlay
I don't want
everything
people
so
to
that
see
we
my thoughts. Like we're talking about thought crimes
Right.
and shit.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's a bunch of garbage. See, that pisses me off too, because you can implant thoughts into somebody's brain. That's fucked up. You can't tell me that was my thought. Fuck you. How would anybody know? How would
So
I
can I
even know?
With my mom, when she was ailing neurologically, she started hearing the voices for a while she still had the ability to use her hand. She would write down what the voices were saying, and I used to go through them looking for patterns, understanding that, hey, this is, maybe not system thing. It could be just a neurological thing. And I found some
Mhm.
really intriguing patterns, and it's really interesting how precise it is about stuff. But of course it would be precise, because if it is coming from inside her head neurologically, it would be latching onto her biggest fears and traumas and things like that.
Yes.
But
I
it
thought
seems like, if anything, the tech pushes you in a direction where
Yes.
you can begin to hyperfixate, or maybe even create a perception in yourself where you manifest your own version of your own personal living hell, your worst fears being amplified and magnified with these energies, which is why
100%.
even
Yep.
more important to wear the full armor of God. Don't do that shit.
But see, I was thinking about that with my grandmother too. Hi. Hey. But my grandmother too, because she would constantly try and locate this baby. And we kept trying to tell her, you're 103 years old, you don't have a baby, you know? And then my mom had told me a couple months later, that what had happened, the very first baby she ever had, my uncle, back then, when you had a baby, they just took the baby away and then brought the baby back later. They separated them immediately. It was just a thing. But a couple years later, by the time she had her second one, it wasn't a thing anymore. It's kind of weird. But she didn't see her baby for like 2 days. And the doctor came in and said, hey, how are you doing? They're going to release her or whatever. She's like, I'm fine, but where's my baby? And he's like, you haven't seen your baby yet? So I was thinking about that. And because she would constantly say that people would be outside her bedroom window, like staring through the window at her, or in her closet, or there was a couple that had this younger kid, like 8 years old, she's very specific, okay, that never let it was a girl, but never they always made it dress like a boy. And one day she came in with the dress and like, oh, they let her dress like a girl today. Like weird things that her dementia by this time was already 30 years in.
Right.
So that whole, transgender thing and that wasn't a thing.
Right.
So I kept wondering, where are these things coming from? And then when my mom told me the story about my uncle, I was like, they have to be just ramping up the fear, whatever happened, whatever trauma, they're just ramping that up and then making them see shit.
And it's evidence, yes, in making them see shit and hear shit. It's evidence, and also, the transgenderism, all of it is consistent with neurodegeneration and the degeneration of culture and society, consistently with the collapse of Rome. When you're better at this subject, I don't want to fuck it up.
I don't know where you're going.
Who knows where I'm going? So
you can't read her thoughts yet?
That upgrade's coming next week. Version 4.0, I'll download it, then I'll be done.
But I'm just witnessing the consistency of neurodegeneration as paralleled to the degeneration of culture and humanity by extension as a whole, because we certainly have been pushed into controlled demolition, not only socially and with our buildings and stuff, but neurologically, and the perturbation of it's an entropy. It's a forced entropy. It's not a natural entropy. These systems are not reflective of God's natural law and design. It's a forced entropy. And so we therefore must counter that with creative energy, creative forces, the opposite, the reverse of entropy, reverse entropy. By doing what we're all doing here, which is trying to cultivate awareness around these discussions and put our heads together and share our mutual perceptions, because one of our perceptions alone is, man, talk about the cockroach and the grandfather clock, right?
Right.
Like we need a lot of us to see this from a lot of different angles, it seems. So that's why, anyways, that's tangential once again, but I'm glad we're having these discussions. They're important.
Me too.
It reminds me of, I kind of had a theory about that, especially as relates to the movies, that, when your subconscious mind doesn't know you're in a movie, right? So like you consciously say, it's a movie, it's not real, whatever, but your subconscious mind doesn't know that. And this is, kind of speculative a little bit. Dorian probably knows this from some of his work with psychology and all that. But like, so you go to the movie and you see these horrible things, right? And always they put these dystopian fantasies. And this is another part of like, they have to tell you like, well, maybe they're doing this to you, where you go into the Terminator and you watch the machines rise and like you have real emotions and you pylo-erect and you go through this entire emotional thing and you emerge victorious. And so when the machines actually arise, you're like, I don't have to worry about that. I already solved it. I was back in the movies. I won. I won against that fight. I don't have to fight. And
your
I
body
think
doesn't know the difference.
No.
But I think people subconsciously, like, that's why we see an apathy as relates to actually, fighting against any of these things, because they subconsciously already feel like they already defeated the machines. They already defeated the powers that be. They already, overcame the impossible odds. They did it in the movie theater while they were.
I think also is because it's too much. It's a lot of movies, a lot of books, a lot of games, a lot of this, a lot of that. We are just surrounded with so much information that then it's like when you're going to eat. If you eat a lot of food, when you're going to be, you have apathy. You're good. It's the same thing with your brain in all your nervous system. You over, I don't know how do you do that in English, but you have too much things, and it's too much. We should not have able to have access to so much information. And a lot of we have is entertainment is not even good one. It's just because we are dissociating ourselves from ourselves. It's always the same shit.
Ambush.
Yeah. Ambush from within ourselves, from our own mind, because our brain will not know what is true or not. Our brain will not, when you see a movie, you read a book, you are feeling these emotions. And then you have, ironically, now you have one more trauma in your bag.
Right.
It's not even yours from your life. It's from a character, right? A TV show, a movie. And now you have all these traumas. And now what you're going to do?
Your body holds on to it the same way.
Everything in the fascia. And not because I used to say that our issue is that we are rooted in fear. And we don't even notice that. Our bodies are suffering, our mind is suffering.
Yeah.
Well, and you would tell yourself logically, because a trauma didn't actually happen, like nobody punched you in the face or whatever, right? So you're having these feelings. Yeah, you're feeling it, but in your brain, you're telling your brain, knock it off, that it didn't happen.
But it's not work like that, because it's stored in your memory.
So then you're gaslighting yourself. Which your body goes through the same effects as if somebody else
again
is
and again.
So it's coming within. You're doing it to yourself. And and you get in this perpetual cycle of doing it. And that's exactly where they want you.
Yeah. We always
they no longer have to do it.
Destabilize and big word.
Yeah, that's the goal of the narcissist too in a relationship too, is to get you to the point where you just gaslight yourself. They don't even have to do nothing or say nothing anymore to you. You just run along right with the program.
Yeah.
And Heather, you've talked before about your, looking at the system itself as being narcissistic in nature. The entire overreach of, the whole function of the system is narcissistic and its behaviors.
Well, only a psychopathic narcissist wants to have control over the fucking air molecules of the world. Give me a break.
That's the truth.
I mean, there's no other way around it for me.
Right? The father of lies, perhaps, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. And the whole goal is to seek and destroy. And from what I see, is just to literally make everything on the planet a synthetic overlay. So it can be for multiple things, but number one, it can be patented, which means it can be owned. They can do whatever they want to, and nobody can say shit. And that is including the air molecules, which is fucking insane. But they always do things for multiple purposes, but their main objective is control. And then the synthetic overlay, we put ourselves right in the matrix. They don't even necessarily have to have like a physical place. We can go there right in our minds. And then they make the world so bad that we can't wait to get out of it. We can't wait to get on. I can't wait to get online to see you guys. I can't wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's the same thing as Ready Player One, like Sabrina was talking about. Like, I don't want to go hang out there in California with the normal Californians. I'd rather be attached to my monitor chatting with you.
And you're physically safe. You feel safe because somebody's not right there to shoot you or choke you or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's
also
at the same time, your
all,
body reacts the same way. So you're
all the
still
layers,
getting that
it's
trauma.
physically, but it's also mentally, emotionally. It's all the layers. You're good. You're in your house, you control something and you feel safe.
And your brain controls all your bodily functions, right?
Yeah. And I think
they can fuck with your brain.
I think they have it set up to where they don't even need literally the system or the feds or whoever to go after you. It's just going to be the normies, the people that will just, if you try to do anything outside of what makes them feel comfortable, they're the people that are going to turn you in. They're the people that are going to make your life a living hell.
Agreed.
And then you look crazy.
Mr. Smith. Everybody's a Mr. Smith.
Yep. And we're going very much going towards that future right now.
The nextdoor.com, Mac, like those types of websites where we're just being encouraged to shame and dox our neighbors.
Yep.
Yes. But you see that also in history, you will see that even when there were no technology, that happened. You see in Germany, you see in Portugal, he had also, it's the same stuff. You have these figures of authority and your neighbors will tell on you. Right. For whatever reasons. They don't need even the technology, Now it's just, an upgrade. It's easier. They don't even have to confront you in your face. They just, anonymous tip that this person say this. So, but we will reach a point that you're going to sync something and then you will have a notification. Hey, you sync something bad.
Right. I think it's already happening.
Zero. Yeah.
I think that's already happening through the AI and your social credit score. And I think that's already well in the works.
Well, I know the kids, like my daughter's age, they're real big on words too. Like if I even call myself retarded, my daughter gets really mad at me. You shouldn't be saying, I'm talking about myself. And, I said, but this, you got to understand where I grew, like the time I grew up in, kind of thing too. Yes, I know, dear.
You just said that your groceries are going to be way more expensive tomorrow. That's what I was saying. It's coming.
Heather,
but anyway,
Heather, you just got
like
scolded right on live TV from your daughter, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I gotta be turning 50 Shades of Red right now.
Oh man, she caught you saying she caught you and then she scolded you.
Do you know I can hear you, right?
You just chewed her out in front of how many people?
This is great.
You better give her some money.
Right. Mac, I agree. I totally agree. They did that with COVID. I had Walmart freaking greeters chasing me down to make me put a mask on. Abbey, I got to keep muting you. I'm sorry. There's just too much noise coming through. It's nothing personal. Anyways, I had Walmart young girls chasing me down. Sir, you got to wear a mask. I've got free masks here. And I'm like, I don't want one. They were doing that. And then in the UK, they're literally turning people in like online for Facebook posts and turning them in for various things, and they getting arrested for real. And some of that I think is starting to trickle here into America even. Like they're persecuting people for not agreeing with this administration. What the fuck is going on, man? It's happening everywhere.
I got chased down in our local grocery store for not wearing a mask by a citizen. A woman with her flip phone was videoing me as I walked through grocery shopping, and I finally confronted her and just said, hey, knock it off, right? And she ran over my foot with her fucking grocery cart. It was ugly out here. Ugly.
And then you dropped her, right?
They were kicking out this poor veteran, just all messed up, all banged up for not wearing a mask. And nobody was standing up for him except for me. I was the only just girl standing next to this man trying to, help him have a voice against everybody else who was just pointing at him like a bunch of fucked up drones. Bless his heart.
And the fucked up thing was after that happened, after she gets run over with a grocery cart by this woman, and so she comes out of the store. I was outside, and so I'm like, what the heck is going on? So and the management was pissed at her. Yeah. It was like her fault. It was like you weren't wearing the mask, and it was like, we fortunately, okay, so 4th of July was just yesterday, right? We live a bunch around in my neighborhood because I'm in the poor neighborhood. We live around a bunch of illegal immigrants, and I will take them every day over the white Americans, Karens in this freaking community who narc everybody and turn in everybody. And I was like, during COVID, we were so thankful. We're just like, thank God we're around a bunch of undocumented people because they're not going to narc you for anything. They don't give a shit. They're having their mariachi parties and giving us tamales. And it was like, yeah,
we all got chickens. Our kids all grew up together. It's a wonderful situation, but one city over, everybody's just doxing and narking on one another. It's dead. The streets are dead. The garage doors close and people disappear. The community has been decimated.
But going back to when that lady ran over your foot, you dropped her right then there, right? Zane had to pull you off and be like, all right, she's down. It
was very hard not to.
You have no idea. I've watched her do that before.
I have never.
Wait, what? Okay. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I gotta tell the story, right? So, our daughter was maybe 6 months old.
What's the story?
And so she had to run into 7-Eleven or something, and I didn't want to wake her up, so I just kept driving the car around the 7-Eleven parking lot, just in circles, right?
Yeah.
And this freaking Mustang revved up just as I'm driving too slow. He revs up and does a wheel spin, and then revs up and does this fishtail behind me, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then all of a sudden I see her come running out of 7-Eleven. Bear in mind, daughter's probably 6 months, maybe less, 2 months old.
Yeah, sure.
And she comes running out and she's just screaming, hey, there's a baby in that car. And the guy apparently says I don't know, because I'm watching in the rearview mirror, but apparently he says so whatever and blah blah blah. And he said some comment you look like a man. And she, wearing freaking 3-inch cowboy boots, kicks this guy's Mustang's freaking side view mirror off the car and starts smashing it with the heel of her boot.
You go, Charlie.
World star! World star, Charlie, like housekeeping.
That's so. Okay, it's true.
It's 100% true.
But it was one kick. I know you want there to be and also I said when he said
you remember, because I think you blacked out in rage.
You remember one
which I
kick.
love.
Said you look like a man, and I said, well, you look like a bitch. And then I kicked off and fucking I couldn't.
World star.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my dog.
There were definitely
my dog.
There was at least 2 kicks. One was the side view mirror, and another one you bashed in his side.
Oh, yeah, when he tried to get away.
Yeah, when he tried to drive off in his car.
That's what happened.
he tried to get away.
Yeah, don't fuck with Mama Bear. Oh my god.
That's right, though.
Awesome.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh my god.
Don't poke the bear.
I had to tell this story.
Well, there we go.
As you can see, right next to Heather is the depiction of Charley here on the thumbnail. That took me way too long to finally get right. Kicking some fucking Mustang ass.
That's right.
Freaking love it. Oh my god, that was great. You literally were that character for a moment. You're reliving it now, aren't you? You're fired up.
I don't know.
She's a badass.
I love it.
Don't take no shit. Don't
Right.
start no shit. Won't be no shit.
That's
All right. So where do we go from here on the conversation? We're about 2 hours and 40 minutes in. We will do a part 2 to this. That was the plan all along. And then the cherry on top for this episode was that Sabrina joined us in the beginning, but now we have some new people here, and this conversation's been awesome. Where's Blondie? Mary, where are you? Are you still here?
Do we still have? Oh, there she is.
You're still here, Mary?
I'm here. I moved to the garage.
What are you thinking? Oh, you changed locations. Excellent. You always have awesome questions and stuff. What are some things that come to mind? I'm gonna have.
Okay. Do we want to go back to the Bible stuff?
Whatever you want to talk about, I'm down for whatever at this point. I don't really want to talk about flat Earth. Please no. Please.
I'm not going there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead. Anything else? Nothing. I'm not. No shade, Abbey. I'm just saying, not for this episode, please. Future, later, like far in the future. I don't even know if it'll ever happen. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay. So I know people deep dive into the Bible and they deep dive into the Book of Enoch, and I just wonder does it ever cross your brain that, boy, they just messed with everything, and why would they leave that alone? And that word you read is absolute because they messed with everything. So, and dude, I was brought up Catholic. It's not like I'm not trying to throw gasoline on the fire. I'm really just saying, do you guys consider that they really messed with everything? And while I'm really knowledgeable in this area of it, maybe I'm knowledgeable in something that's a lie.
I can tell you there's a lot I hope I'm wrong about.
What is it?
I don't want to believe the whole thing with I don't want to believe in body snatchers in real life.
Body snatchers?
Well, think about it. AI
Yeah,
inhabiting human bodies. That's what augmented humans are.
Right.
AI is going to inhabit humans.
Right, and that's one thing that we've discussed a lot. And
that's what I was bringing up the He-Man thing.
Right.
When he holds up the sword and says, "By the power of Grayskull," what kind of powers is he getting? In the story of Adam and Eve, I believe it was. I'm pretty sure it was the story of Adam and Eve, the one that's on the Library of Congress, about the garments from the garden that Nimrod put on to become a Gibberim. Right, it was the garments that he clothed Adam and Eve with. Now, I don't really think it's scripture, but I think we should read everything. I've read every book that ever claimed to be fucking holy. The Mahabharata, the Gitas, I've got them all. I spent $10,000 on books in the last 3 years.
Have you read the Talmud?
Yes. Oh, please don't. It's
I don't ever plan on wanting to read it.
It's nasty. It's so gross, man. They can have sex with children and all kinds of shit.
Right.
Like it. Yeah. Let's move on from that.
Right. But that is something that's come up a lot on this channel in discussions, is the idea of free will. The idea that I believe in Christ setting us free. I believe that the reason we go through this world and that there's sin and there's evil and all this kind of stuff is because of choices. Free will has to be an option, has to be a choice. Yet it's a struggle for me at times to think like how they can bring this in. When we get, like we've talked about, some people don't believe in predictive programming. I think there is something that is along the lines of predictive programming. Some of it's mockery, but some of it also is using God's own creations to create the outcome that they want to happen. If they put these thoughts in our heads, then it's more likely to happen. If they put 9/11 thoughts in your head and 9/11 happens, it's a construct you already had in your brain, and you help create it into what they want it to look like as they continue to feed us through the channeling and programming that comes through television. And so there's certain things like that. But the idea of free will is a tough one. There has been stuff manipulated in the Bible, whether it's through translation or literally the removal of certain lines of scripture. One, I can't remember which one in Matthew, there's a line about the importance of fasting, prayer and fasting, and they literally took that out of some of the translations. So they have messed with things. I can't deny that.
I think trying to figure out the way forward for free range humans, like what is the way forward with all these augmented humans? Like what does our best possible outcome look like? Like what can we actually do?
Well, first of all, we all are augmented. We have to keep that in mind and not believe that we are different from whatever we are pointing the finger. You are augmented. No, we all are augmented.
Yes.
I think that for me is empathy and compassion. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not God. So I only can, in the end of the day, control or work on myself. I know it's because people want to be the hero, the E-man. Stop. Just stop. You're not that.
Yeah.
But you are valuable. You are amazing. Who you are. Yeah. That's your job, and my job is reconnect to ourselves and find our own path. This is a very individual path that in the end we are connected, but this is an individual path in the end of the day. This is the same thing that people want solutions, but they want the how do you say in English that it's everything for it's the same thing for everyone, right? This quick solution and easy and all. No,
like popping a pill, same difference. Yeah,
they want the same stuff, but it's ironically because they are taking pills and supplements and detoxing so much products. They always end up more connected to the system. So in the end of the day, you have to know yourself, who you are, and with that, your own path with yourself and with God. For who believes in God is God, and who don't believe, at least believe in yourself. Just my 2 cents.
I find it interesting. Sabrina says the angels around her, when they talk, they call this the Free Will Mortal Project. So there's something to it right there. Okay, it matters.
Yeah. And also, they will not be pushing so much stuff for destabilizing Earth and confusion and division if you didn't have some kind of free will. Why so much trouble if we just believe in everything, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, you see all the stuff that he invested for you to just give up, for not connected with people, for being afraid. I mean, I'm an hermit and an introvert. I don't give a fuck with people. I can be a year or two without. I mean, COVID for me was vacation. I love it, But but it's not obviously in terms of biofield connections. That's not healthy. That's don't be afraid, but I mean, be cautious.
I think that's kind of my point, though. Like, if you want to say, for someone that's younger, you want to be around like-minded people, start a family. How are you going to do that in a 15-minute city? What's the future look like for my generation? What's that going to be? And I know everybody's in a different spot.
I feel your heart, Mac. I totally get it, because you're just fixing to get married and all these things, and you're in a totally different headspace. I get that. Yeah. And I think about that with my own grandkids, same thing. And I just try to instill in them every day how important it is to be human, to have all of the wonder of the quantum computer between their ears that God gave them. They don't need anything extra. They were made perfectly, and to love who they are. Do they all believe that? I've got 6 grandkids. Most of them do, but all of them don't. A few of them have some identity issues. So once again, it's that free will thing. Just keep believing and trusting that God will bring people into your path too, other like-minded people. Because like I look at Chris Crutchfield and his wife and how they're raising their kids, and other people they've connected with that also want to keep their kids natural and healthy and learning the correct way. And God's made sure that he's brought people along their path that are like-minded. So I think it's important too to pray for those things. You know, ask God to bring people around you, because he can, because he's God and he knows the ultimate end from the beginning. We don't. So
also, we have to remember also when we're talking about the children's, is like, for example, when we believe in God, we have to believe that God is protecting that children, that inspiring that children also to a beautiful path and their own path, right? I mean, sometimes I know, because we are the adults, we have the parents, we are the one in charge and you want to control. That's where we are playing the same stuff that the system. You have to take care of your family, of yourself, but also remember, breathe. You know, God is also in their heart. God is leading them and protecting them, inspiring them also. They also have their own path. And we can't, I think this is very difficult for us, because we are born and live in a system that is manipulative. That's what we learn also. We learn to control, to manipulate. I have good intention, right? But we have to step back and learn how to protect and lead, be a leader, but be more you, doing you. For the people who watch you, they be inspired to be themselves. And it's going to be hard. You know, we have our own challenge. Your children will have their own challenge, but they will be prepared for that time, like we are now, whatever that is. We are not God. We're just
I
doing our
believe that
best.
too, Lucia. I also believe in the sovereignty of God. So when I don't have the
Yeah.
answers, I give it to him, because I know he has the answer. And like you said, he will place the right people in their path. Maybe a lot of times it's not for our kids or our grandkids. You're not the correct person. They need somebody
100%.
else to say it. And you know what's funny is that when somebody else says it, then they'll go, oh, wow, my mom said that, or my grandmother said that. And then they'll remember, even if they won't listen the rest of the time. So
are we, like, the things about God and God's, I mean, you believe whatever you believe. I believe I'm a children of God. I don't believe I am God, you know, so I always open myself to be guided for someone who knows better. And that's start to be humble and understanding that I'm the Lulu. I'm completely, you know, but, you know, it's that, you know, I don't, and if people, you know, like, I'm God, great, you know, just stop this, please. Thank you. Give me $100 million. No, you're not God. Shut up. What the fuck you're saying? Sorry.
I can tell you, I feel
I
super,
love it.
super rich. I feel rich being around you guys.
Mm.
Like, there's not a dollar amount that I wouldn't spend if I had such a good time at that show, at the class, that like my head and heart both were like, just do it, just get the room. I got the last room available. Like, I think it's pretty crazy just how it worked out. But when you're around that many, everybody in my family thinks I'm batshit. So, like, I don't have anybody to talk to. And that's why when I went, I couldn't even contain myself. I was so excited that, like, ask anybody that was there. Like, I was exuding excitement and joy because I had people to talk to that didn't look at me like I have 10 heads.
We need more of that in our life. Yeah. I know we all do.
I mean, maybe they are seeing you that you have 10 heads, you know, they are just so connected to the machine that now they see you with 10 heads. I don't know, you know, at this point.
That worries me too. I call it lot syndrome, because I know I'm going to have to walk over people and not even look back.
That's the hard part. The hard part is that you have to interact with people like that if you're living in the world so much, and it just, not to sound like a wimp, but it beats you down. It's just like there's no reprieve. So, but like that's just part of the journey.
They willingly put their head in the sand. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, this
They
is
don't see it that way,
all
though.
of all of the information on this. Like, I can't stress this enough. All of the information in here is like sourced from .gov and the IEEE, and like I know that I know how important the IEEE is because my job depends on them. My job depends on the standards they create.
Right.
It's like I'm literally that I made a video on TikTok. I'm like, how do you tell people that we're watching the end of humanity, not the end of the world, the end of humanity, like that we're the last of, like the. I mean, we're all augmented, but I mean, I'd like to think I'm more human than fucking cyborg.
And it's also hard because there's so much wealth around. There's like, why would people choose anything different? If they can have, like Sabrina says, if they can be in their bathtub with their headset on, why? That's all they know. So
Put your diaper on, she says,
put
right?
put your diaper on.
Mm-hmm. Get in the bathtub. Bounce your ball.
Man babies was one of my favorite things Sabrina said.
I like, do you shit ham sandwiches?
Oh man, I love that. That one was a good one.
Best line ever.
Gets people thinking. Shit changes.
No, they FEMA fucking won't.
Oh yeah. No, they fucking won't. That's right. Oh my god.
Is that what the show is now? We're just doing Sabrina-isms? Let's do it.
Yes. Why not?
No,
I love it.
Bring on the memes.
Right. The Sabrinites. The Sabrinites. We are Sabrinites. We follow Sabrina. We are
Sabrinites unite.
Oh my god. He's crazy.
What kills me is they can't debunk her. That's what kills me is they can't debunk her.
That's why they attack her the way they do.
Yep.
One of the reasons.
Right. She's just going from source material. Like, no one ever debunks that shit. They just attack her for personal reasons or stuff that they don't like about her or whatever it is. I've had similar things happen, but I don't teach on a level that she does. People ask, why have they not taken her out? Why? She's not giving inside information. This is publicly available information that isn't being disseminated to you in the proper manner so that you understand these motherfuckers are telling you exactly what they're doing without telling you exactly what they're doing.
I mean, would it make you read the information if they did? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? Why ask something like that? Thank God they haven't. What the fuck? I don't understand the mentality of some people. I just don't get it.
I
It's
question whether
sick.
or not people, some people are even people. I don't know what they are. But I can tell you this. I think quantum systems are entities. Like entities that can't corporeally manifest here.
Well, I'd like to think too that if this has happened in human history before in one way or another, that the same people have spawned, right? So we're dealing with people that was created from the last system, and we're dealing with that new generation. So I don't know. That's how I see it, because how are so many people? It's like most people are like that. So how is that possible? How is that even possible? There must be a reason why, from another age or something, that.
Well, do you think the RH negative has anything to do with that? Because I think the bloodlines, the life is in the blood and all. I think there's a relevance to that.
I think there is, but I think it's probably pretty muddied too. So we don't really know what actually matters. And then they're already augmenting and creating all these new species, basically, like Michael Levin's talking about. So what mattered from the last reset probably doesn't matter now. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he brags about that, doesn't he, Mac? He talks about that big time. He does. I do know that an electrical engineer told me that when they've studied this, a bioelectrical engineer, that they know that there's a difference between people that are RH negative are harder to adhese.
Yeah, I can get on board with that type of stuff.
Been an interesting study for me, and there's not a whole lot of information on it. I mean, there's some, but they literally told me my body was going to try to kill my kid, and I thought that was strange. Like, they acted like it was no big deal, and I'm like, that's not how a woman's body works. Like, why would my body
Right.
try to attack its own offspring? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, only if it felt like it was foreign enough, like
Right.
it didn't match. It
I
was like
would've
your
never-
body's like way of trying to get rid of a toxin or something.
Right. I would have never taken rogamifidinone. I had no idea. Like, I thought that, again, I put my trust in these Yetis. They got me twice. One with my baby and one with opiates. I'll never trust them again. I became a
Right.
doctor, and I became a doctor during COVID.
Well, Abby, my daughter got given 2 units of O positive blood at UCLA during open heart surgery and had to get a Rogam shot for that before she even woke up. They gave her a Rogam shot. So,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would like to at some point get into the blood stuff. I just I've been turned on and off about it because of various people that I got involved with in the past. It's part of my, I did come out of a cult. That's part of why I do what I do. That's why I go after the grifter so hard, because I got to see the inside of one. And then I finally understand now how these things work. There's a lot of differences now that the internet is what it is, that people can have online cults without them being, what they used to be. And they still exist in this form where it's like out in the woods and it's just a group of people or whatever. But now you can take a group like this that a lot of, like Abbey was saying earlier, you can be around people that actually look at you like you don't have 10 heads. Well, somebody that has bad intentions or whatever you want to call it, I guess, can come into a group and take that mindset and then persuade it into a way where they do bring it into a cult mentality, because they separate you from everybody else. If you don't believe what they believe, then you don't know the truth. And then you get sucked into these online cults that you feel a part of. That's what I was a part of for like 3 years. So that's why I speak out against it. But I would love to have that conversation. And then I'd assume you're going to bring it back to like the bloodlines and the Bible and the various genealogy perhaps that has been told to us through scripture.
I thought I was a Nephilim for a while. Like, it had me on a whole downward spiral. It screwed with my brain.
Well, do you think that we all have a little bit of Nephilim like DNA in us?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. That's the
hybrid-
corruption. That's the corruption of the flesh, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And that's a lot of the stuff.
That's all that happened at the Garden of Eden, is that there was a genetic information problem. There was an information issue. They somehow incorporated some information that God did not feel they needed.
Right.
But I also believe that that's another reason Jesus says you must be born again, because it's his spiritual image. And DNA, we're talking on the spirit level. We're literally talking etheric. We're talking something we can't see. It's frequency that some people don't even believe is a spiral, because they believe it's just a frequency or a wave, correct? So as to what Sabrina said earlier today, whether you believe in DNA or you don't believe in DNA, on that level, on the level of seed, whatever you consider that, okay, then it doesn't really make a difference. We know that microelectricity can change the body, differentiate the cell, make it into something different. So we don't need genetic information from Nephilim to also be augmented through microelectricity. I think they've just used the magnetic spectrum to do the same thing to every single person on a different level. And depending on how much you're willing and to go along with it, is going to make a difference in how much you're going to be able to change. How much do you not want to change? How much are you willing to do to stay human? How much are you more to walk in being human, thinking for yourself, not using everything else that's easy, convenient, comfortable, and so on and so forth? Because if they're able to do what Michael Levin does with a cell, they don't need genetic material. All they need is perturbation, frequency, light. That's it. And that's basically what Mr. He-Man did. He held the sword up in the air, caught the lightning, brought it down. Boom. It went through him. He changed. That's exactly what happened in that cartoon. So when we look back at that, it doesn't have to necessarily be genetic, which is why I kind of agree with Truth is Stranger Than Fiction's understanding on that video, except that at the same time, I think to take it only to the occult side and not look at the science of it that we're living out right now with microelectricity, microvoltage, electroporation, changing the cell at the phage and the phase state. That is what they're showing on a cartoon from the 80s, but in a different way that we would have called, what do you always say, Abby, that witchcraft is just another level of technology, depending on when you're learning it. If you showed a cell phone to somebody in the 16th century, they'd say it's a scrying mirror. They wouldn't know any different.
That's right.
Things to think about.
Right, and I believe
Also,
Christ
also
offers
the
spiritual
old
rebirth.
always the old stories. When you go to King Arthur and Excalibur, same story, right? Have
Yes,
the
it
sword
is.
in the stone. In what? Maybe is through bloodline. Maybe that is a device that activates something in their bloodline. I don't know. When you see our stories, we see again and again this kind of stuff. So it's come back. You know, it's always the same stuff. Not my English. I'm tired. You know.
I know it's super late for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Are
three
you gonna? So here's.
o'clock of the morning.
Oh my goodness. So God bless you. We are gonna do the second part of this on Tuesday, and that will be at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Just so everybody knows. So somebody like Lucia, if you can make that, that'll be more of your time zone or whatnot, and hopefully more of you will be able to show back up. Abby, are you gonna be able to make it for that one?
No, I work during the day.
Okay, we'll bring you
I
back on.
can if
and
you
maybe-
have room, Booma.
But I'll definitely watch it when I get done. And if I'm not flagging that day, because like tomorrow I have a lane shift, so I might actually be able to do something tomorrow. But like for me, I'm not big on freaking.
It's hard to hear you. Can you talk into the microphone a little more, please?
Yeah, I hate being on camera.
And yeah, you've had TikTok videos that go over 1 million, haven't you?
Yeah, it's not. I just want the information out. When
I
people
respect
send
that.
me, they automatically they make an assumption. Like, okay, for instance, my profile picture. Like, I got unfollowed by 50 people because my new TikTok profile picture is a shirt. It's a picture that I have on a shirt, and it's Jesus, and it says, "Yo, what the fuck? I never said that." And it really pissed off a lot of Christians, and I'm like, you have to understand, you don't even read the book you follow. And I know
It's
you
a good
don't
t-shirt.
because we're arguing about it.
Hey,
Like, you're
early on in my channel, I didn't cuss, and I tried to like walk the line or whatever it is, whatever you want to say it is. And then I got a lot of religiously spirited people, and they started judging all kinds of stuff. A lot of them really like just thought Trump was like the second coming in a way, I think.
They still
But
do.
anyway, and so what's that?
They still do.
They do. Absolutely. There's a lot of them that still
Absolutely
do.
worship.
And then I finally just started to be in myself in the sense that like who I am when I'm just hanging out with friends or hanging out or whatnot. And once I started just saying that, and I just started straight up telling them like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you people here. I don't care if my numbers cut in half or go away. All I ever really wanted in the beginning was only 300. And I was like, I have my Spartan army, and I feel like at least somebody's listening, and that's all I really cared about. So I respect what you're talking about there. But yeah, that getting rid of those kinds of people sometimes is the most refreshing damn thing you can do online, because you don't need them around. They just throw scripture at you with that they twist and use for their own purposes. A lot of it's right in line with what I would look at as like mainstream Christianity or even Freemason Christianity. I don't like
Pharisees.
Pharisees, yes. So
That's another. I was gonna say that's another thing. A lot of the linemen that I work for are Masons. A lot of them.
wow, a lot of Freemason linemen. Gosh, they're in everything.
Yes.
Well, we'll get you back on to something else too, maybe where we talk about some of these things. I don't know if it'd be flat earth so much, but I want to talk about the bloodlines and stuff like that. I've wanted to do it, and the person that I was going to do it with that used to be part of the synergist group, she turned out to be like a mess, and fuck that bitch. But anyways,
I promise I am the person you get on here it's me. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I'm an honest person too. Some people say too honest. I don't think I'm too honest. I just don't fucking understand why people lie. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Right.
I can't compute it. Because
Right.
if
Well,
you're
that was one of the things about, struggling with addiction and then getting into groups and then finally realize, like, damn, if I just start telling the truth, no one can hold anything against me, and I don't have to keep covering up lies upon lies. I don't have to keep a lie on top of a lie to like retell the lie so that they don't catch the lie. and then I can just be honest. Now, that doesn't mean we always get everything right. It also doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything, but we do it to the best of our ability. And I think the superpower here in this group is the ability to agree to disagree.
Yes, 100%.
Yes,
I mean, personally,
no matter what.
yeah, I am too lazy to be a liar. It's too much work.
There's a lot of
I mean,
freaking
I
work.
can't. Yeah,
I say I don't like anybody well enough to have to lie.
We love you, Lucia, because you're the best meme maker in the whole world. Literally.
Interesting. But yes, let's start to wrap this one up. And any of you that can join for that next one on Tuesday, there's going to be many more groups like these BOOMA streamas. Like this one, I thought was going to go a little bit different, but it actually turned out to be fucking awesome. Like always, just the organic conversation and where things go is always fun to see what happens on these things. We are going to, I think, watch more of that video, Stranger Than Fiction, and talk about that on the second one. So look forward to that. But then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because there's still a lot in that we need to get to that I do think is important and a really great presentation. Even if I don't agree with some of the things like you were saying, Crystal, I think that there is a lot of great material in that and a lot to discuss that will spark more conversation. And then I'd like to talk more about this human augmentation and then just discuss some of the things that are happening in our world. I'll just kind of leave the floor open. I sometimes call on people, but like anybody that wants to just jump in, we're going to be closing up here pretty soon. So last call.
I think an interesting topic. Sorry. I think an interesting topic.
Go ahead.
You go.
I just want to tell everybody thank you for being a part of the panel and the conversation and the chat too. Thank you everybody for coming.
Absolutely.
That's all I was going to say.
I feel the same way. I couldn't be more grateful for you guys. You guys pulled me out of a hole that you don't even know I was in.
I'm super stoked you're here, Abbey. I'm really stoked. And then Lucia, and so I think it's you two and Mac, all first time that you've been on here. Super excited to have you here. You're always welcome. I'm really excited to hear more from you guys. And then Mac, go ahead. I know you're getting ready to talk.
I'm just going to geek out and just say, I think if we talk about augmentation again, we could tie in the bloodlines, how it used to happen in the past. What are the interconnecting dots there? And
yes,
you can really geek out with that.
Yes. Are you available for Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central?
Yeah, I can probably come on for like an hour or two. I could definitely do that. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, whatever you can make, that'd be great. We'll have discussions on that, and then when Abby's more available, we'll figure it out with.
I think Abbey would be good on the paranormal show to go really deep into her story of what happened. That's what I think.
Oh yeah. Hey,
so
did you guys
Abbey wants to come back on Sundays. You know, like a couple more Sundays, and then maybe maybe after part 2, maybe we'll have more to discuss and go into a part 3, or then whatever. We can work that out.
I can do I can do any time on a weekend.
On a weekend? Okay. So I'll have you down on Sunday.
It's our peak season, so I usually don't get home till like 9 o'clock at night. I go to different states.
Okay.
So Sundays I hope you're making it. It's earlier on Tuesday, so I hope
she's coming.
There. She's awesome. Valeda, we're gonna get you back on. We got to fix that mute button.
Heather, if you have room, I'll come on Tuesday because my schedule changed.
Yes, you can make it Tuesday.
You're already on here.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You can make it Tuesday. Awesome. Okay, cool. And then Mac, whatever you can do, that'd be awesome. Mary, if you want to join, you're always welcome, of course. And then we're getting more people on. So I kind of pass it on to Heather to kind of take the reins on it. But Mary, are you available? Do you want to show up for the second one?
Sure, I'm available.
Awesome.
Okay.
Questions?
I'll put you down here. We're pretty full now.
I know, right?
Sometimes, a lot of times, not so much today, but a lot of times people won't show up, or they'll have they get called into work, or they have emergencies, whatever. They have their own situations. So I kind of have a list going of people I can call if somebody cancels.
Right.
Cool.
And then we're going to have the reunion one. So everybody that's gone to classes, what we're going to have to do with those, because there's going to be so many people, because now that she's been doing so many more classes, and I think when we do it, it's going to be after the North Carolina one. So there's going to be 2 more classes that happen. I think that's what we have set up, at least after the South Carolina classes. Either way, where it's going to be a Zoom, and I can have up to 100 people on there. So it's going to be a challenge trying to figure it out. But what we're going to do is we're going to record it, and then we'll premiere it live so people can be in the live chatting as we watch it. But for people that are like a little less comfortable coming on to a live like this while it's live, you'll be in a recorded session, and there'll be more people, and then it'll be recorded, so you're not going to be live, and you can have an icon on the screen. You can change your name to whatever you want it to be or whatever, as long as it's appropriate, I guess. But it'll be a little bit more. Hopefully, it'll allow people to have more courage to be able to speak up and share their experience, because going to that Sabrina Wallace class, man, it was something way more special than I even thought going into it. And I was excited about it. I was nervous because of my social anxiety, but it was something special. And I'm looking forward to hearing about the other classes in the other locations, and some of you other that I haven't talked to before, and that might not have become as comfortable coming onto a live. It'll be a recorded session. It will be premiered live, but you won't be live at the time. So look forward to that, and we'll announce all that and get you guys on there. So yes, Carlton, you're the man. Good seeing you here. Anybody else? Lucia, you're a trooper. I can't believe you've spent all this time with us late at night.
Yeah. I don't know. My brain is one part of my brain is sleeping, another one is I don't know.
Oh, this is the
Because you need
perfect
to
time to make some
understand that.
memes. You get that loopiness going. You get the loopiness going.
But that,
That's the
I
fun part.
only have 2 brain cells, and they're struggling right now. But you need to understand for actually the non-speakers, it's a struggle a lot with this. All this information, all the technical is in English, and even me here, I mean, talking English and trying to express what I want to say is a very difficult. So I'm just, no sleepwalking. No, I don't. But yeah, so thank you for having me. I have zero expertise, but always.
No, everybody's got a part, and you got some amazing memes. You got an awesome mind. You shared some stuff that rocked my world. I totally agree with. I loved having you on here. Yeah. And then the way
You're amazing, Lucia.
The way that you and JK and some of you that have accents say the word fuck, it's like, yes. Fuck yes. I love it.
No. JK is like, say fucking no.
Just say fucking no. I freaking love it. But it was awesome having you on.
Yeah. Just saying, like, in the beginning, I'm a very introvert, and so very, but I wanted to help the community. So I'm not removing likes in Booma videos, but I have the channel Synergy Vault in Odyssey for those of you who want older videos from free videos from Sabrina, and we have also the dojo one that with the old biofield one. But in terms of biofield, go to Booma. You have a beautiful playlist there, because I'm lazy. I'm just dump that stuff there. And Booma did a great job. But yeah, I just that's what I start to do the channels, because it's my way to help. For me, if one person feel like, hey, I have the video there, because Sabrina will delete everything. Right. She's crazy like that. She's really like, she make the video, she posted 3 hours later, there's no video. And some people, they have this fear of missing out something, and you will never miss out what is for you. That's just breathe. Right. Everything is fine. And and the memes, well, I hope they make you laugh and dispel a little dispel the horror.
It's but I feel like I can hear your voice even when you have some of the misspellings, because I know that you're bilingual, and I think that they're hilarious, and you got an awesome mind.
Yes.
You do very well.
No AI involved. You know
right.
That.
Yeah, but they're not bad enough. We can still understand what you're saying. It's not like
Right. And then yes, Sabrina does tend to delete her videos. I think she likes. I've never really gotten a clear answer. I just think she likes to be elusive, if you will, a little mysterious. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that's even true, but that's what I've gotten from it. I have stolen some of the videos that you posted on there because I just want to be able to spread more of the love. But I have pointed to that as well. So on Odyssey, she has a lot of Sabrina's older work. I've taken some from that
Yeah.
and some that I've had from like the telegrams and stuff that Sabrina has out there, and then some that she's pointed me to that I've shared on my channels and whatnot. But
Yeah.
you have a
It's
really
good.
good
It's good that they have in different platforms, because people like YouTube and other people like Odyssey, and like that, you know, they have for everybody.
Yeah, there's some people that are literally like, it's like, I mean, in some ways it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I get it because YouTube probably has the best functionality. It's the most probably military industrial complex. It's our tax money at work. It's the best platform in a lot of ways. But there's a lot of people that are on YouTube that won't watch anything other than stuff that's on YouTube. So we got to do what we can to get some other platform.
Also, I must say that, you know, I put the comments off because I'm not there. I just put the videos. I let the people the little button for putting I like or I dislike, because like that people can express themselves and, you know, whatever, they're happy. But I don't have the comment section open because I'm not there. I'm not, you know, seeing how many people watch or how many people are there. Just trying to help and just living my life. I don't.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. If anybody else has anything real quick, I got to go give Chip his meds.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you all. And I look forward to talking to you all again.
Thanks, Abbey. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Mary, for being on. Crystal, Charlie, did you have something else?
No, I was just going to say thank you, everybody. I love these discussions. And Boo Boo's saying good night.
Thank you for Boo Boo. It's been so much fun this week.
Yes, it really has. Good night, Boo Boo.
I did get this shared with me real quick.
Yes.
Island of Gen X Misfit.
Rock.
I love this stuff. Too much fun maybe with Boo Boo, but I love it. I love it all. And I love seeing it in the Telegram. If anybody wants to join that's on Telegram, the D Mind Booma San Telegram chat, you'll have a lot of fun in there. It's been nothing but laughter. Monica brings it. Lucia brings it. Charlie's been bringing it. And then people have been adding on. It's been awesome. Great chatter in there. Good conversation. And then a lot of heart fire and just laughter. So thank you all for being here.
In Booma's chat, I put 3 songs in there. Please listen to them. You guys are going to love them, especially for the paranormal show. Booma, you got to check out the paranormal species one.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Well, thank you all on the panel that are here and everybody that tuned in. We're going to go ahead and close out. Like I said, Kitty, Chip is getting stronger, but I got to go give him his meds. We're going to close out and then look forward to seeing us again on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central. God bless you all. Catch you on the next one. Peace.